I've done this, and this is. I'm not saying you should do this ever. You should not do this.
Maybe once.
But I got this other side of me that if someone pushes enough, we'll come out. Yeah. And I've literally, in the middle of traffic, pulled my car sideways in front of someone's car, gotten out, went to their window, get the fuck out of the car. You're flicking me off for 10 minutes. It's enough. Right. You know what I mean? And guess what happens? I've done this, I don't know how many times, but
once or twice.
But yeah, but however many times I've done it, no one's gotten out of the car. Not one person. Yeah, what's up, man?
Not much. How about you?
Awesome, bro. I'm so happy you were able to come on with us, man.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot of cool things in the pipeline. And
yeah, 2025 is a bit busy year. That's Tony. I don't do business. I'm like, we family and do all that stuff. Yeah. Now I'm like, I need to go find something to do. And I was kind of like, oh, let's do this thing.
I think it found you, honestly.
And then it just kind of...
From the story that I heard, you know, like from when Tony was like, "Yeah, man, you got to meet my guy," this and that. I was like, "All right, this is our kind of person."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So me and Michael been friends for I don't know, a decade at least.
Yeah.
And
so the funny backstory is we were neighbors for years and didn't know it. But we're in a convention in Dallas.
Right, and we see each other.
Yeah, like, hey.
And how are you live?
Where do you live at?
You live there?
He goes, dude, I've been sneaking in your property to fish in your pond.
Oh shit! He likes to fish. Boy likes to fish.
This is true.
Yeah.
And then I found out that he's into everything that I'm into for health and wellness and longevity and energy and all that type of stuff. Yeah. So we hit it off. And at the time when I met him, I was actually training, competing.
Yeah.
And he is the one. So I've been to a lot of chiropractors, a lot of good chiropractors out there, but he specializes in a lot of stuff. But appendages, like stuff that I'm talking about, the fingers,
you usually
the wrist,
don't mess with,
stuff
right?
that most people either don't know how to do it or never even thought about doing.
Yeah.
And that used to, change my ability to train or allow me to continue to do what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And it was just awesome. So we've been tight now. The whole family is tight. He's going to tell you a story about his amazing daughters and his wife and all that. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and one more thing. His wife made a brisket. So a friend of mine gave me a brisket, and I'm like, I don't know how to cook this thing. So I gave it to her. She smoked it for 18 hours. It was so ridiculous. and I really don't think, like she said, there's better briskets out there.
Did you see that thing I sent you on $1,000 Wagyu?
Oh, wow.
It's $1,000 brisket. And I'm like, we got to try that.
We got to eat that.
Well, let's get the $100 one first. $150
yeah, let's go and
stage it. I'm about to order one of those.
She's going back up there soon, and our friends are coming down, and they get it from. There's this place called Brass Out Beef up in Franklin, North Carolina, and there's just no other meat in the world. I mean, it's just.
Is that the one you've been telling me about?
Nope.
Oh, is this different one?
I want to do the contest.
Oh.
I'm going to let them get theirs and okay. Mine. We gonna some
You told them about that one too, right?
Yeah. I'm just going to see what's up.
I like meat, so I'm going to eat all of it, man. I'm going to, you know what I mean?
Well, it's whatever. I call
myself a secondhand vegetarian. And then I get my fruits and veggies after my food eats
after I eat my steak.
So,
my steak eats it. That's the only way I got it.
That's right.
Devin was killing, like, 3-4 days in a row.
Yeah.
Brisket. I'm like, he brisket sandwich, brisket and egg, brisket and this. Like, boy, you gonna have a mud butt with all that beef. So he's like, I got super digestion.
Yeah,
you are 20.
I got enzymes.
You are 20.
Did you hear that story about, God, who was the actor? But he meets up, and he's like, I just do 100 push-ups, 100. This guy's just chatting. He goes, well, all I do is 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups every day, and I'm in great shape. And he's like, really? I'm 50 years younger than you, and I have a metabolism. And he goes, I didn't know that to tell him. So the next time I see him, it was like John Boyers, and he's like cranking out these push-ups. It's amazing how good I feel. And this guy, like, you Jack? He goes, I'm just doing your 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups.
Wow.
That's it. That's all you need.
How do you look like that?
Well, that's all
I got to do. I'm in.
When I get a new coaching client, especially a sedative person, I'm like, listen, we working on consistency first.
Yeah.
Be consistent at anything. I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
Find
yeah.
something simple. It don't even have to be the thing that we gonna be doing. Just be consistent.
Just be
If you
consistent.
be consistent for 2 weeks straight. Like in other words, you go 5 days and you mess up, start all over. Give me 2 weeks straight, and then we'll graduate.
That's
to the
it.
next 2 weeks. Once you do that, that's your mind takes over.
You
And
cleanse.
You just show up.
Yeah.
Because showing up is the hardest part.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we. I woke up every morning. I woke up and I'd be like, "Am I glowing?"
Everything's
So a
popping.
year ago, we started fasting a couple days a week, every month, and then got into the
Like
yoga.
full day fasting? Like the whole day?
It's like 72 to 96
Okay.
hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like fasting, not like intermittent. But
Like real fasting.
Like,
Okay.
well, you know, if you start looking at the research, I was like, wait a minute. If you do one fast after the age of 30 for 7 days, you reduce your risk of cancer by 80% for your whole life. 1 7-day fast reduces your risk of cancer by 80. I'm like,
So once a month? Or just once a year?
Say that
one time.
Say that
you
in
do
the microphone.
What?
One 7-day fast, you reduce your risk of cancer by almost 80%.
Chase.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so you start looking at the research. Well, the first, I'll forget to eat some days.
Yeah.
I just don't. But if I know I'm going to fast, man,
Yeah.
I gotta eat it. I'm going to die. And then the next 24 hours, you're like, don't talk to me. I'm going to kill you.
That's right. That's right.
And then
Right
the
now.
third day, you're like,
Yeah.
I understand.
Then the
You
fourth
feel
day.
really
Yeah.
good. And it's head clears. It's
Yeah.
like, you remember the Claritin clear, it's like they're ripping. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I see sounds and hear colors.
Yeah.
It's like, and then day 4, 5, 6, and 7, what you've done is you've gone from burning off the blood sugar, you get into the autophagy, and then you start to really get into the autophagy goes after the weakest cells in your body. And, so most people are like, oh, I intermittent fast. And I was doing that for years. That's why I was gaining weight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think this is working.
It is. Well, I mean.
I think feast and famine is the way to go. I think that's how we were able to survive when there was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we got something. Then that took us
here.
to the next time. There was nothing.
So this was just a 90-day window. And only thing I did,
You got to send us to Chase so you can put it on there.
the only thing I did,
That's just for fasting?
fasting and yoga.
What
That
the
was it.
fuck, man?
I was eating cheeseburgers,
Bro.
pizza, the whole bit.
Bro. Chase, look at this before and after, man. That's his before, and then slide to the left.
And so I was like, okay. But, part of the reason we were going to...
What the
Well, I knew I was a biohacker. I just needed to do it.
I know what to do.
It's the consistency of doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we kept going. I was like, you know what? I remember it vividly. We were gone to a conference.
Come back to
And I was like, okay. And I'm like, man, I got back and I'm like,
right.
like my first yoga goal.
Trying to get to
They're like,
your-
what's your goal? I don't want to cut my toenails without holding my breath. Like,
Without passing out.
it's true though. And I'm like, and I went to bend over and
I
I
do that.
And I went to I'm like, oh my God, babe, I can't bend over. I would like to say it was my hamstrings, but I got all my gut in the way. I'm just not gonna eat for a couple of days.
Yeah, yeah.
So it wasn't like a real deliberate. I just
Yeah.
there's a coach that we got. I told you about Michael Burnoff, and we took all the kids.
Yeah.
And we might get into that a little bit, but he goes, just change your relationship with something.
Yeah.
Change. Don't go on a diet. Just change your relationship with food.
Yep.
And I'm like, he goes.
Interesting.
Are you eating because you're bored?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Are you eating to fuel your body for what you need to do next?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you eating for entertainment, boredom, or whatever?
Yep.
And I was like, he goes, just every time you touch the fridge, why are you touching the fridge?
Yep. What's the purpose?
I'm bored. I got not,
That's so true, though.
Oh, it's so many
That's
things.
why
It's so logical,
that's
too.
why food chemicals drive the
addictive.
market.
Right.
They drive the market.
The food additives that they
So-
put in are just nuts. And I was like,
I think this is really important, the fasting thing. So how would I do it? Like, it's a 7-day fast, so you don't drink water?
no, yeah, I drank water.
Okay, so take me through, like on Monday, you 7 days, right? So Monday through Sunday?
So I started off Well, when we were back, we were in a company together, and we had a client that wasn't getting results, so we started a 60-hour fast that the company just absorbed. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
They got what they deserved.
Great idea. We're not going to use it until we can claim it as our own.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Right.
Anyways,
Right.
and so we're like, you know what? I haven't done that in a while. Just going to fast from Sunday night till lunchtime on Wednesday, which is like a 60-hour fast.
Right.
And what happens is your blood glucose goes crazy, but then something comes in, and most people don't realize that when you eat protein, if you don't have a certain level of ketones in your system, it's glyconeogenesis, it converts it to sugars. And so that's where your diabetics, for instance, be like, I've been eating perfect. Why is my sugar high?
Yeah.
You're converting your proteins to sugars.
Okay.
And so it gets things off. And I was like, you know what? Just going to do 60 hours in it. And I'm like, okay, I can't eat today. And, you go through that. And Dom has his own ketone pack now, Keto Fast. And it's the way that he designed it at the University of South Florida, like what it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's great stuff. Anyways, so we're using that. I take one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I was like, because what it does is it takes you from, well, you know more than I do, but it'll take you from no ketones in your bloodstream to it'll give you a sustained fuel level of about 1 millimole.
Oh,
which
okay.
takes you a month to get into, if you're purist. Don't have any of that.
Yeah.
But so his wife has a company, and it's the brand, and he did it for the University of South Florida. And everybody's taken his stuff and done whatever they want with it.
And modified it.
Yeah,
and
they've
turned it over.
They've taken it to do whatever they can. But what it ended up doing is, okay, I can do this. And then the second day, I was like, because you're all the toxins, the parasites, the chemical load in your body, it's just like, and you're like, ooh, I could be angry. Like, I'm hangry right now.
I should not
And then
talk to
all of a
people.
sudden, you kind of like, you breach that at about 48 hours. In the next 12 hours, you're like incredibly productive. Your brain's so clear. Your mind is clear. Because most people talk about nutrients. They talk about, carbs, proteins, fats. Well, when you start metabolizing your stored fats and the liver takes those fatty acids and converts them to ketones, that's actually the most perfect fuel for your brain. That's why you get that clarity. And so now you got a way that you can kind of cheat code and get you there quicker. And then when you stay in it, like the first sign that I'm like out of burning my own fuel, I'm like, man, I need a cup of coffee or I need a Monster.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I feel bad now.
You're using
I should be
keto.
fasting.
No, you're fine. Is this got this is you need to switch. Not that you should drink any of it, but hot pot kettle.
Yeah.
But Bang has methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
So
Lift
cyano-
has none of it. It has all natural.
What's Lift?
Stuff we normally drink in the pack.
Oh, that's Lift? Okay.
Yeah. But even like Celsius and stuff has cyanocobalamin, which is your B12, but it's the wrong kind, and the body can't react to it.
Because the other one's what?
Methylcobalamin,
Yeah.
And it's that MTFHR and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you're going through the fast, and then all of a sudden, you're like day 3. You're like, okay, I haven't made it this far. Well, I'll eat dinner tonight. So that means I've now made 72 hours.
Yep.
And it's like, okay. I could make lunchtime tomorrow. I could
That's how
keep
you do
going.
it.
I could do
That's how you do
lunchtime,
it.
and at lunchtime you get busy. And you're like, oh, and then it's like the next thing you know, you're like, okay, what do I want to eat? And the thing is crazy is everybody's like, oh, my blood sugar gets I'll pass out. I get it. Well, no, that's because your body doesn't have the ability to metabolize any fats.
That's why you fat.
That's why you fat. And there's a lot of reasons, but the main reason is your body doesn't know how to access stored fats. And once you start accessing those stored fats, man, well, I mean, you know more than I do. It's like
Most of us, we get almost to the fat, almost the ketone production. I gotta have something to eat.
yeah.
And then
You're
you
like,
have
damn.
so you
Or they'll
start
eat,
sorting.
and then they'll eat really the wrong things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like bread, and when you combine that, when you start looking at blood types and stuff. So, for instance, somebody's like, "Oh, everybody should be a carnivore." We're O blood types.
Yeah.
We do great on proteins.
Yeah.
The A blood types, they're geared more towards the vegetarian type stuff, and they do fruits and vegetables, grains. They have no problem. They think everybody should be a vegetarian.
All right.
And then the B blood types kind of have both. They're the omnivore, but they react really bad to chicken and anything with corn.
Interesting.
And so as we were dealing with
me.
it diagnostically, clinically, you start working with people who'd be like, why you got so much inflammation? You find out, well, they've been eating Caesar salad, grilled chicken Caesar salads, and it's like, can't eat chicken, and your body doesn't digest leafy veggies anyways. So, you move in, and so then you start getting them ketogenically, and you start adding these foods in because you fasted, and you're just like, you realize
pass out.
that is going to make me tank.
Yeah.
I've been eating that like nonstop.
Right.
Like that's my go-to.
Right.
You can't. And so it was great for me because I realized I like Meat Lovers pizza, and I could just get a double topping Meat Lovers pizza, and it's got the pepperoni beef sauce, all that stuff on it. So it's got the heavy proteins. I was good to go. You give me like, bread or pasta, and I'm like, I'll eat pasta. I don't have a migraine headache because it has an O. I couldn't figure out why I had such bad headaches when I was younger, and we didn't have a lot of money, so we had a lot of potatoes.
Yeah.
But potatoes, they're like the world's superfood because it's like there's a potato chip, there's French fries, there's mashed potatoes, there's vodka. Like, are any other things even tried? But because of the alcohol content and an O, when I ate too many potatoes, I got hangovers.
Wow.
And I was like, you gotta be
That's a
kidding
lot of
me.
fucking potatoes.
It's crazy to find out.
No, it's not. It's like
Things
two
like
like
that.
2 cups of potatoes.
That's it?
And I'll
And you get a hangover?
Yeah, from that.
You imagine it'd be a lot more than that.
I can drink a half a bottle of scotch and I'm fine.
Hey,
You give me a couple
let's
bottles
go.
you give me a couple potatoes and I'm like,
Hangover.
But yeah, so your fasting leads into, wow, I feel really good.
Right.
And then after that, your body goes, you put something in it and it immediately goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Or goes,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
and you're like, there's no way.
Yep.
And so
And that's when you know. You know the
even-
difference between what works and what.
And you know the qualities. That's why we ended up with Bison, because I'm like, I'm gonna have a burger. Like I want red meat, I want a steak, I want a burger. I actually found out that I broke down quality ground beef. Like I'll buy like a ribeye at Bison. I'm like, hey, can you turn it into burger meat? And they'll be like, dude, here it is. And so I'm having prime rib or ribeye burgers.
Right.
But it's broken down even further. And so as you start to break into those pieces, the fasting goes after that. Autophagy's done. It's eaten all the bad stuff that becomes cancerous. Like it's going through it. It's like, okay, we've eaten this. Okay, let's really dig into stuff on days 5, 6, and 7. And that's what the research is showing. 1 7-day fast after the age 30 reduces your risk of cancer by like 80%. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
That's
And
amazing.
then you start finding what your body actually operates on optimally. It's just a complete game changer. And there's a lot of research that's coming out. Like you need to eat certain vegetables, and the best way to describe, I discuss this with people, is when you go back to eating, eat seasonally.
Yeah, whatever's in season. Yeah.
Whatever's in season. So we live in Georgia. If we went back 5,000 years, we on month 5 of protein because ain't nothing growing. You're either eating, pine tree bark or squirrels
berries
or
or
frogs.
something. Yeah.
No, there's no berries.
Not even
right
berries,
now.
right? Yeah.
Berries don't show up until the end of May, 1st of June. So you've got May and June where you get your blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries, right?
Yeah.
And
then July and August, maybe part of September, you've got your veggies.
Right.
Then September, October, you've got your starches, your potatoes. And then November, December, January, February, March, April, May, 7 months, you're on protein. And you cycle through it. And, people are like, you can't eat like that but you got to realize when you start looking at like the Inuits, the Eskimos, and all that stuff, they've never even seen veggies.
Right.
And they have almost no cardiovascular, they have no heart disease. They occasionally have like a goiter issue because of iodine.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're really, really healthy. And if they get enough salmon, they don't have the iodine issue.
Wow.
And they've never, there are people that have grown up, have never even seen fruit or vegetables.
Right. And there's people that's growing up now that's never seen fruit and vegetables because all they've been eating is stuff out of a box.
Oh, that's true.
So
That's not
people-
true. I have Fruit Gloves.
That's fruit. It
bag
says it
or a
on the
box.
box.
I got the
Real
Skittles.
fruit.
It's
Right.
Skittles.
It says real
So
fruit.
those people haven't seen vegetables by choice, and then everybody else, I'm gonna eat like them. Yeah.
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 Wow, that's crazy.
And it is.
That's the Pop-Tarts.
It's an interesting thing to, like, as you start to play with your food and you realize where your efficiency lies.
Yeah. So do you think food is like the number one thing people, if it would fix a lot of issues for people?
Number one is water.
Water.
Number two is food.
Okay.
And the reason number one is water is I'm 206 pounds. I am 18 gallons of water.
Okay.
So this hit me. So I don't know if you've heard about Skylar. So our daughter Skylar was.
Okay.
I was hoping we got to the water.
Oh, good. Okay. I was like, yeah.
Get to the water.
I'm like, I'm taking mental notes. I'm gonna watch this episode 10,000 times myself.
Let me see if I can. So our daughter Skylar was born in 2009, and she had like the most severe case of gastroschisis that Scottish Rite had ever had.
You want to tell the people
And
what that is?
gastroschisis is basically born inside out. It means that stomach, liver, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, bladder, right, we're all on the outside. Wow. So she was at Scottish Rite for a year.
Ain't you more grateful for that brand new healthy
Yeah,
baby?
you got that healthy baby? Yeah, man.
Let me see. I got this thing. I'll show you.
Wow, man. That's insane that something like that even exists.
I know.
Because you never hear about it, right?
No.
Yeah. So here, I'll show you. So this was the way that Sky came out.
Oh, my goodness.
And
Wow, man.
So what happened is...
That is crazy, bro.
Oh,
Bro.
he knows Sky. He's like,
She's a walking
You know
miracle.
what I'm saying, Jess?
you can put it in front of the camera if you want. I mean...
Well, you know what I
We're
want?
gonna send it,
Yeah.
send it
Yeah.
to him. That way he can.
'Cause then we
yeah,
actually
here, just
put
go
it-
to theenergeticlifestyle.com on your phone and you can download the PDF if you want.
Yeah. We're gonna,
Energeticlifestyle.com.
Theenergeticlifestyle.com.
yeah.
And so we went through this whole thing, and then her biggest issue is acute dehydration syndrome.
Okay.
And so I'm a chiropractor, and we've got all the cool stuff. Like, yeah, we can do the PT, and I can adjust you, and I can do extremities and wrists and elbows. But then we had foot baths and cold lasers and detox and infrared and before it was cool. Like everybody's now was like,
That's normal.
oh, that's cool. This is the latest and
Right.
greatest. I'm like, dude, we did that 20 years ago.
Like,
We closed the clinic down 7 years ago. After,
right.
And they're like, what? Yeah. All that laser allergy. I wrote all those protocols on my back deck.
Right.
And, but as we went through it, I tried every water, everything you could imagine. And a patient comes and goes, oh, you got to try ours. And it was like the hard sell, but she was a sales rep, a pharmaceutical rep. So she was used to it. And I finally sent her home with Guyton's book of Medical Physiology. And it was like, there's a difference between electrically reduced and pH has no bearing because your body will neutralize it. And then I find out that, long story short, she shows up for like 5 minutes.
Speak on that pH thing.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Walking around drinking.
Dude, I was
9.5.
I was about to pull out my smart water here.
Yep. Go ahead. And then, don't lose that thought.
Look, this
All
one
right.
says for pH. What's going on here? Is this
So-
some bullshit water?
Let me ask you, if I had enough,
I would drink that over that.
yeah, me
Is that what you're gonna ask me?
but if I add enough baking soda to this, does it become alkaline? Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't make it good for me.
No.
If I take any water and add baking soda to it, it becomes alkaline. Doesn't make it good for you.
Okay.
The right type of water is called electrically reduced water, which means they've hit it with a lot of lightning. When you ever go to the ocean, like
Yeah.
sit there,
Yeah.
there's a big electrical storm.
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
margarita. Okay, cool. And you just feel the energy and the stress. What's going on is the lightning strikes the water and it blows the water molecule apart. H2O, so you get hydrogen, oxygen, hydroxyl anions.
Okay.
So hydrogen actually feeds your nervous system and your cell membranes.
One more time. You get divided up into the three. I got it. But I'm telling you, people, they not gonna get.
So just
Let
saying.
them finish. We're going back.
All right, because I gotta ask
It
about
divides
this.
it into three. Say them again.
So when you take H2O water,
Yeah.
you blow it apart, you're going to get some hydrogen, you'll get some H2, you get some O2, and you'll get this hydroxyl anion, which is OH negative.
Right.
And so what happens is if you drink that kind of water, the hydrogen will immediately absorb into your body, feeds your nervous system, feeds your cell membranes, and improves the electric charge on your cells themselves. When you now have available oxygen, in order to produce energy and ATP, there's this thing, Like we're going way back. For me, it's like decades, but like the Krebs cycle.
Yeah.
And so you have to oxidize pyruvate, put it across the hydrogen-rich membrane into the mitochondria to create all those. But basically what happens if you don't have enough oxygen, that shuts down and your body starts to burn sugars. It goes into glycolysis. Well, one complete cycle on the Krebs, if you have enough oxygen in your tissues, we'll say it produces 36 gallons of gas for your body.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough oxygen, you get 4. Glycolysis burns sugar, which gives you 4 gallons. Proper amounts of oxygen gives you 36. So it's 900%, 9 times more efficient.
Wow.
So when you get into that concept
Wow.
of an alkaline environment.
You're talking about mind blowing.
But the piece that he's talking about is just because all electrically reduced water is alkaline by default, that means the process occurred because you have more hydroxyl anions than you have hydrogen ions. pH, potential hydrogen. So when it goes alkaline, it means it's got enough buffering for the hydroxyl anion that it makes it alkaline. Well, people are like, oh, you got to drink alkaline water. No, because
alkalized water is what you want to drink.
Correct.
Yep.
And what ends up with is if you drink alkaline water, you're now saturating.
So this is
your body.
alkaline water.
So it's got
It's
calcium.
not alkalized.
It's got calcium, magnesium, potassium, all that stuff dumped into it to shift the pH. Like, I need those things.
Okay.
Yeah, but they build up in your body. They build up in your cardiovascular system, your kidneys, your heart, your arteries.
Yeah.
So
because you're
those
dumping,
are inorganic minerals. Your body can't use them.
right.
So
So
what?
it's marketing.
Yeah. So is there a company that makes?
That's the water. Yeah, you'll see it when
I
you
got
go
you.
through the thing.
All
He's
right,
got
cool.
your back.
All right, cool. Because I'm buying. Listen, man, I drink a lot of this, man.
That's why you need to
know what I
come
mean?
to me, and we can get
Yeah.
all this worked out.
Yeah. Well, it's.
And so when you get into that state, being from Georgia, I always say, all electrically reduced water is alkaline. Not all alkaline water is electrically reduced.
Right.
From a Georgia boy standpoint, all snipers are great shots, but not all great shots are snipers.
Snipers, yeah. Right. Okay.
So it's like one is a
Makes sense.
case of the other. It doesn't matter. Now, when you get into that, you go, well, how much of your body is water? How much do you weigh?
Right now, 230, 227, I think.
Well, I was 232 in my pre-picture. You make it look better. So we'll split the difference. 72, 70. We're just going to say 75%.
Yeah.
You're 75% water. So you're 174 pounds of your body by weight is just water.
Wow.
But now if you divide that number by 8.34 pounds, you are 20.1 gallons of water
Wow.
by mass.
That's
By weight.
So now I understand.
If I wanted to
water's
fix
warm.
everything for you, I'd adjust you. I can shake you. I can bake. I can red light. I can do all those things. But if I can get you to drink a gallon of electrically reduced water every day, and that's the only thing you drink, in 21 days, I will have replaced your body by mass and by volume. I'll have replaced 75% of your parts with high energy.
Wow.
So everything
I'm
else
starting
falls.
that shit
Everything
today.
else falls into that category of, oh, it's just not water. It's the other 25%.
Right.
Nutrition, diet,
Yeah,
exercise.
yeah.
It's the type of water that makes everything work the way it's supposed
Yeah.
to.
Correct.
Yeah.
The way I got introduced to the water, almost similarly, somebody's trying to shove it down my throat, and I'm just like, bro, it's water, leave me alone. And then he was like, well, just put this machine in your room over the weekend. Just drink, as much as you can for these next 3 days and holler at me on Monday. Well, the week before that, or 2 weeks before that, I went to Pittsburgh to pose at the Pittsburgh show, Jim's show. And I stayed up all night for like 2 days. Wow. And I lost like 15 pounds over the weekend. No big deal. Normally I go home and, 2 meals, 2 days back home, I gain all my weight back.
Yeah.
Well, I went back home, I didn't gain nothing back.
Uh-oh.
So I went that whole month, 3 weeks, like still 15 pounds down. I was like, damn, it ain't popping back like it normally do.
Yeah.
Homeboy gives me a machine, I put the machine in the room. By Monday, I was 15 pounds heavier. I was like,
This is just
sold.
And when you're bodybuilding, you cut, and then you go in, and you're like all swole.
So my whole career, I've had my machine with me, and that's exactly what I use to hydrate.
so this machine
It
alkalized the water.
Or electrolyzes the water.
Electrolyze the water.
Which makes it alkaline, which makes it
Basically,
an
a
antioxidant.
lightning strike
in it.
and basically your coffee maker.
Oh man, I
So
want
that's
that.
nice. He'll set you up.
All right, let's go.
And it just, I couldn't
DM
argue
us
with
if
that.
you want to buy this because we're gonna start making that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
I would-
So now it's, when you work out, you know how you get really, really sore?
yeah.
So what happens is your body has burned, stored stuff in there, your lactic acid. Well, the reason that you get sore is because you don't have enough hydroxyl anions in your tissues to bind with the lactic acid to make lactic hydroxide so your body can dump it into your bloodstream and get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
But if you're drinking bottles of this stuff,
Yeah.
I'm loading up.
Is that what you're drinking right now?
Yeah. The only thing I
Of
drink.
course.
It's probably what's in his bottle.
He's got that special coffee.
Well, that's a lift in the
Oh,
water.
okay.
But what happens is, we've had Olympic athletes and stuff like that, and I've worked with a lot of professionals. And they're like, you drink your body weight in ounces half of your body weight in ounces per day of this, and you'll
Half your body
rip
weight in ounces.
is the bare minimum you should drink.
Okay, but realistically, like for me,
75%, you should drink 140. You should drink a gallon of water.
gallon a day, yeah,
At least.
Okay.
I mean,
And what
fluids,
you'll find,
including the coffee and all that.
Yeah, but using that water.
and what happens is that gives you the hydrogen, oxygen, hydroxyl, flushes the tissues, gives the energy to the cells, increases the healing process, accelerates the detox process.
Does it alter the effects? Like if you use it for like in your coffee maker, like if you put that water into the coffee maker and the coffee maker does it.
When I boil rice and pasta,
Yeah,
oatmeal,
it doesn't mess with the actual.
Right.
It actually assists. It actually helps whatever that is you're putting it in.
Yeah.
And if
work
you use,
better in your body.
If
Oh,
you
wow.
use it with your nutrition, you get more in.
Yeah,
Okay.
you take your
Like
vitamin
for
stuff with
instance,
it. Yep.
Oh man.
one of the things when I was in practice that we had to be careful of was real common was blood pressure medication. We'd have people and they'd be on the water and be like, okay, I'm like, yeah, but do not ever take your medications with this water because it'll amplify it.
Yep.
And they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, just like on either side, 30 minutes. Don't drink it so you can just take it and you'll get a normal dose. Well, people come like, man, I need to come and get adjusted. Something's not right. I'm real lightheaded. I'm dizzy. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. You come in, they're like, well, did you take your blood pressure medication? Yeah, I forgot. I took it in the car and I used the water. So what happens is,
Oh yeah.
so the big difference is like if you took Advil, for instance, 200 milligrams, and you take it with water, you're really getting like 30, 40 milligrams. You drink it with this, you're going to get like 180. Like you're going to get all of it.
That's what happened to him.
So you need way less on the medication side.
Yeah.
Part of the protocol for us and the reason that we got busy doing it is I started to help other doctors and hospitals and wound care centers all over the world. And we started to coach doctors like, here's how you can get people well. And that's kind of what's going on now with our wellness centers. And so, it's if you just switch that one thing, you're literally addressing 80% of anybody's health issues.
Wow, that's an easy thing to do. Everybody can do that.
It's not though.
You don't think so?
You'd be amazed how hard it is.
Why is it
for
hard?
people. They can't drink water. Like it's become more of a thing now, but you're like, well,
I will say it is way smoother and easier to go down. And again, that's why I tell people just start with consistency.
Yeah.
Get you a gallon, finish the gallon. Get you another gallon, finish the gallon. Get you another gallon.
Just keep doing it.
And then you'll see the difference, feel the difference, and you'll be like, and then skip a day or two. And then you'll be like, oh shit.
I need my water. What's my fucking water?
Like,
I need my lightning water.
Vacation, right?
Yeah,
Do
go
you
some-
travel with yours?
What? Remember the little letter, the note you gave me? So I had the gallon in my hand going through the airport with a gallon of water. He gave me the clearance paperwork, and then I'd have the machine in my luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go and
So you can actually, it's small enough to take with you.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Yeah, man. I want one today.
Well,
I want to
at the
start this
house
shit.
that I can let you borrow till your new one shows.
Okay, that's cool. Whatever. I just
So
want
what
to start.
happens is you're like, oh, I'm drinking this water, and you're drinking it. You're like, yeah, I'm not really seeing it. I'm not really feeling it. Like,
Right.
whatever.
Yep.
And then you're like, I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
And I get the phone call, Dr. Michael.
Bro.
I'm in Panama City. I'm in Miami. I'm in Cozumel. I'm in London. Does anybody around here have a machine? It's true.
Can you mail me a machine?
They do. And they're
so
like,
true.
I gotta, and then you get into the shower units and stuff, and it's and you're like, you got a little like, I am high maintenance. I'm taking, but you realize that the single most important thing you can do
is
water.
Fix your water.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Above all else.
That's crazy.
And that's not like some esoteric show me the science. That's just you're 75% water.
Yeah.
You want to be better? Drink better water.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Take your smart water for a second. Shall we measure it for PFAs and plastics?
Oh, it's probably loaded with that shit. Yeah.
So it's like
You get the machine.
So you try, and
you get glass and
Glass,
stainless steel.
Yeah.
And now you don't have none of those.
None of that stuff. Yeah.
And
God damn, I'm doing all kinds of fucked up shit. Then I'm drinking it out of a plastic. It sits in my car in the heat.
that was kind of what
fuck?
Tony and I's project in
do that.
Sedona became with the healing the healers and helping people.
Yeah.
Because you got in this current, you're like, oh my God, they lied to us.
Yep.
So the conspiracy theorists, I was going to go Dr. Mike. My brand used to be Dr. Michael Explains, and it was on YouTube, and it went viral all over.
Yeah.
And it was like, it kind of like, well, what are you talking like this? It's like woo-woo water. It was like, it became Dr. Michael Explains the science of woo-woo. Kind of was the joke.
Oh, yeah, very cool.
And then I pulled back, and now it's like, I was thinking I need to have a little podcast, call it The Conspiracy Realist.
I like
Health
it.
and Wellness.
I like it.
Just because, well, we trusted them.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
Who do we trust now?
Yep.
And it's like, if you educate people on why they do what they do, like that makes perfect sense from a water standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to be, there's no thunderstorm at the ocean. There's the electrical storm, and you just feel amazing.
Yeah.
Because you're getting the free electrons, you'll smell the ozone, you'll smell that, and you'll be like, I feel better.
Yeah.
Well, then it gets into like, well, what should I eat? And you start breaking down, for instance, grains. Biggest thing in the world. Breads, pastas, starches.
Right.
So you may have to edit this out. But it's
we're
more
keeping
honest
it all.
information.
We're keeping all of
you
it
need
in.
to be careful. I'm an O blood type, so I don't eat grains. Why? Because I'm an O and I can't. Like, what does that mean? I can put them in my mouth, but they will make me sick.
Yep.
So we're just going to say that we're here. It's August, September, so it's 100 degrees outside and 100% humidity, right? We're going to go cut your grass in your yard. And then we're going to put you in your bodybuilding shorts, and you're going to just roll in that grass for the next 24 hours. Just back and forth.
That sounds comfortable.
Wow.
Would you be like, I'd be like, my eyes
On
swell,
fire,
my
man.
nose, I'd be like itching. But you're going to take those grass clippings, wheat, grind it up into a fine powder, dump it into your body, 98 degrees, 100% humidity for 24 hours, and then you wonder why your gut's inflamed. Do you know what eats grass? Goats, horses,
Cows.
They're
Like-
called ruminants.
Right.
And they don't get any nutritional value from the grass. You know what they get? It feeds the bacteria that gives them protein so that they can bulk up.
That's how they get the protein
We
out of the grass.
don't have that bacteria flora.
Yeah.
That's why they have to vent cattle that get into clover or whatever. It messes up the biome of their digestion. You vent a horse. Because a horse only has this thing. So what do? They eat the grass. I like how they chew their grass. They puke it back up and they're like, oh, that was tasty. Let's do that again. And they chew it again and then they cows go through multi-chambers. Some goats go through multi-chambers. That's how you can digest wheat.
Yeah.
Well, most people don't realize the reason they started doing breads, pastas, and starches is it was what they fed the peasants and the slaves. Why? Because it's cheap.
It's cheap. Yeah.
Why? Well, they got grain. So, like, we're out here with the cows. Like, okay, let's just grind this up in that little water.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't like grass, And it really is. And then, and the other that is probably the biggest spike to glycemic index. It's just now coming to light. We've been saying is oatmeal. It totally destroys your pancreas.
Oatmeal does.
Oatmeal is the highest glycemic spike of anything.
Oatmeal's terrible.
Yeah, check it out.
Son of a bitch! I've been eating oatmeal.
Been having
What the
some hell of
fuck?
a workouts, but now
I'm waiting for you to say something where I'm like, yeah, I do that. So far, I'm like, no more oatmeal, no more smart water. Like,
Again,
the fuck?
don't take my word for it. Go, I'm showing you, here's the data, here's the research. Look it up, and you're like, what? Like, they did a thing where they did, like, waffles, pancakes, on one test group, and the next test group was oatmeal, and the next test group was just like an omelet. 300 calories across the board. They fed it to like 80 to 100 kids. They just tested their blood sugars. The kids that had the oatmeal, they were like, the glycemic spike was crazy at 6 hours. It was insane. The kids that had just like the basic pancakes and stuff, they're like, I'm just hungry. I just got to eat. I need more calories.
All right.
It's because they got no nutritional value.
No nutrition, yeah.
So
What happened to the omelet people?
Yeah, what's up with the omelets?
they sustained blood sugar, no spikes, proteins.
They drank their lightning water.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, but it's an interesting thing. So yeah.
Wow, man.
So you were just describing how the goat and the cow, they eat the grass and they got 4 stomachs, and the cow does anyway. And remember watching Cat Williams?
Yeah.
He said that's how you know there's a God. To know I'm going to put grass here first, then put the cow
Right.
here. So he can digest the stuff to get the protein so you can come eat the steak. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's everybody's saying, there's no proof. I'm just like, what do you consider proof and evidence?
Yeah.
That's well thought out, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So
Well, Cat's off the chain, man. I mean, he's a comedian, but the guy is really smart.
if you read 12 books a month, a year, whatever it is,
Yeah.
he's smart as heck.
Yeah, when people think he's just a comedian. That guy's really smart. Like, and he called a lot of shit out that before, and now it's happening.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly.
So okay, that's water. So the next thing after water is what?
Eating according to your blood type. That's what we always do.
So
our clinic was based on like seriously sick people, like not people that you normally send to a chiropractor, but we had all the biofeedback and nutrition. And as we started to break the pieces down, it's like, oh, well, why am I like, I could eat red meat every day and never eat anything else and I feel great. And if you have too much, you're like ready to die.
Right.
She's like, yeah, my wife would sit down with a bowl of lettuce that was like this big. And I'm like, is that for the family? She goes, that's mine, you know. And she just loved salads and veggies and all that stuff. And I just got really sick when I ate veggies.
Oh.
But I grew up, I had allergies and asthma as a child, and so I was allergic to trees. I was allergic to all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to put it in my body? Like, no. And so it became a balance of like, okay, well, where's the midline? What do we need? And then there's a book called Eat Right for Your Blood Type.
Okay.
And it'll tell you what's highly beneficial for you to eat, what is neutral, and what is detrimental. You want to avoid it. Well, if you're a chronically sick individual, we don't want anything on the avoid list.
Right.
Neutral a little bit, but you want 80% of the stuff that's going to fix and heal your body.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's not saying we don't need medicine. That's just like, when we worked with the Cancer Centers of America, we worked with all kinds of places like that.
Yeah.
We weren't treating anybody's diseases. We were like, we're just going to make your body as healthy as it can be to survive whatever you're going through.
Whatever you're going through.
That's my philosophy.
And
That's what I do with everybody.
Yeah.
You get ready for a show? Okay, let's get you healthy.
Right.
First. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to go back and fix it after the fact. Because once you do all that stuff, your body's ready to absorb. It's ready to partake. You're not pedaling upstream anymore.
Yeah. How does this stuff affect like cancer, like a cancer patient?
So let's just...
Yeah.
So when you start looking at cancers, there's definitely some more research coming out. But if you look at Dom DiAgostino's work, and he is a brilliant guy. He is a researcher out of the University of South Florida. He wrote the project, the non-chemical treatment of cancer, therapeutic treatment of cancer, and he was using ketone therapies, oxygen therapies, and all those kind of things. But what he showed is he's got a TED Talk, highly recommend, and it talks about the human body as dual fuel. So cancer lacks the enzymes to produce energy from anything but sugars.
Oh.
So if you switch the body, which does great on ketones, you switch to ketones, you've now switched out the fuel source. Then you're saturating the tissues with oxygen. So by definition, here's a trick question. If you get sick and you get a fever, are you healthy?
Yes.
Right, because a fever is the body's way of fighting an
Right.
infection.
That's why you get a fever.
If you are oxygen deprived in a glucose environment, your body can't produce energy properly through the ATP. So it has to find some way to produce the energy, at which point it just goes crazy to proliferate.
Yeah.
So if you change that environment and you've created oxygen rich, you get it from water. Did I tell you about the nano hydrotherapy guy? He's got a hot tub. So if you've heard of hyperbaric, right?
Yeah.
So this guy's got a hot tub that's got a built-in some kind of electrically reduced thing, but it produces massive amounts of oxygen. And one session is 8 times more effective. You get 800% more oxygen in the tissues than you do under hyperbaric without the claustrophobic increased pressure.
Because of the water.
It absorbs right straight through your skin.
I feel like you guys.
It just exchanges them all out.
Like as an asthmatic, I could do my little pulse ox thing.
Yeah.
My oxygen drops low because mine used to be really low.
Really?
I could drink the water and you could watch it go up 3 or 4%.
No kidding.
Just from drinking, because your body will absorb it.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. What you're saying is not like, but just stuff that you haven't heard before.
Oh yeah, well, because
Not to this-
sometimes,
They
you
try to
said,
keep you quiet.
Right.
Every time you talk about it, they call you a conspiracy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you do hear about it, you're like, is this
Conspiracy
true?
theorists,
I don't know.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and that's kind of when Tony and I were talking about the project and we were talking to you about it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, we want to go out there and be like, okay, people don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, just trust the science. I said, you can't trust the science because they just find that science is paid for by who will keep the lab open.
Right.
But when you start using your head and you're asking a better question, you're like, oh, why should I do this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably going to say nobody has ever given you the roll around in the grass after you mow it
Yeah.
analogy. And you're like, no, I'd be miserable. Well, why you put it in your body?
Yeah.
Because it's not your cheese flavor.
So, these people that
We're
say,
not even going to get into process for this.
yeah, we need to. So these people that are told that they're allergic to gluten, is that a real thing? Or because I've heard both.
Yeah, so it's the gluten as it binds the glyphosates.
I was just about to say that.
Like,
They're not allergic to gluten.
It's the
They're having a reaction to the gluten with the glyphosate.
Oh.
okay.
And plus, he just described our bodies aren't designed to really digest that.
Yeah.
And they took all the nutrients out of it.
So it's pointless, really.
It's just sustenance, as they call it. That's why they spray the vitamins on there. That's the only way they can sell it to us legally. It's
Well,
not,
if
it's
you
not
look
actual
at
food.
what pesticides are designed to do,
Yeah.
it's horrible. So basically what happens is they coat this thing. Now, they're using a petroleum base, not because there's some great conspiracy to kill us all. The farmers don't want to have to wash, respray every time it rains.
Mm-hmm.
So they put it on and it's got a petroleum base to it so it doesn't wash off, number one. So unless you have a way of breaking that petroleum base, it's going to be on all the foods you eat. 2, it's designed to destroy the gut of the insects eating it so they get sick and they don't want to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Now that you've seen a rise in all these things, like when we were kids, did you know anybody that had Crohn's?
I don't remember anybody having
Irritable
anything.
bowel syndrome?
Yeah.
No.
Like, I got irritable bowel syndrome. If I ate really spicy chili, it was lethal.
That's it.
Other than
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
it was like,
That was it.
IBS, Crohn's, all that stuff, just skyrocketing.
Wow.
And so you see it in that realm. Well, the interesting thing is when you go to Europe, like Jackie just spent a month in Europe, she had no problem with the grains and the pastas, and she can't eat anything here. And that's because of the way they treat it. When we traveled abroad, it was like, I remember I walked into a place in Australia, a grocery store in Australia, and I'm like,
You want to take your camera out, right?
like there's like
When you go,
the middle aisles don't exist. It's all food and proteins.
It's all like actual food.
Yeah, there's no box stuff. There's
I'm
no.
telling you, you walk in, you be like, what the hell? I literally pull my camera out like this. Nothing. It looks like an orange. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get up on it, you be like, what are they doing?
This
to
is
all
actually,
stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I've
And
lived.
you taste it, it takes you back 30 years, 40 years.
Well, that's what we were talking
Taste a
about.
peach in Australia, you be like, what in the world?
It doesn't even taste the same, right?
It's so good, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, I've lived all over the world too, and like being in Europe, I mean, you literally when you go to like the market, it's an actual market, and they bring it there, and then once
There's
it's
like
done,
fish out of the ocean, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So and then once they're all gone, they close it up, and tomorrow they'll bring fresh again. It's always fresh. And then when I came here, these giant supermarkets and stuff, you know, the supermarket is like in like the Netherlands. It's like
if you look at everything in the aisles,
yeah,
don't eat any of that.
on the outside.
Just go around the outside. of the grocery, you're fine.
Well, now they're getting smart. They're putting some of that bad shit on the outside too. True.
But you know,
Yeah.
but even still, it's like I just saw a thing where they were talking about.
No, the stores are set up for them to make profit,
Yeah.
not for you to get what you need.
Get
to
healthy,
be healthy.
yeah.
No, not
So,
at all.
Yeah. Wow, man, this is. All right, well, I got a whole list of shit I got to change then. Thank you.
Well,
Appreciate
like I say,
appreciate it.
But if you hang out with Michael and me, we're normal. This is our normal.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we know better. There's no way that I couldn't do the things that I know
Yeah.
because I know them now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So when you're exposed to them, a lot of people poo-poo it. I'm like, well, listen to it. Listen, I mean, he's giving you like stories that contain evidence
Yeah.
that it actually works. I mean, I can only imagine how many tens of thousands.
Well, you don't. You also
that
don't
need
lose
help.
anything by trying it. Like you just try it. Try it.
Exactly.
If it doesn't work, then whatever. You can say I tried it, it didn't work. But if you do it, you'll see the same thing you guys are seeing.
I mean,
So,
like when you take something like high fructose corn syrup,
yeah,
right? And you realize, okay, wait a minute, this is high fructose. So just go study fructose. It only is metabolized by the liver,
right.
right? So
Right.
it's the same process as alcohol. So if they put high fructose corn syrup in everything, the Crustables, the peanut butter jelly, the ketchup, the barbecue sauce, all that, right?
Yeah.
So your liver has to deal with all of that, even though you're thinking your stomach is dealing with it. No, your liver has to break down that high fructose corn syrup. That's how you get fatty liver. That's how you get chronic fatigue syndrome, type 2 diabetes, all those things. Not just from high fructose corn syrup. But what I'm saying is identify that, change your attitude about it. This is poison, I ain't eating that.
Yeah.
This is poison, I ain't eating.
Cut it out, cut it out.
And when you cut those couple of things out, now you got to shop different because all the stuff you've been buying, it has it in it. You be like,
Yeah.
oh, damn. Oh, damn. I mean, it's literally in everything.
So where do you get your food? You go to like a regular like Publix or Kroger or something like that? Where do you get your food?
My wife does the shopping.
The cool thing is,
She goes
we
to-
find it with there's a go ahead.
no, the cool thing is there's real healthy options.
Yeah.
Identical to the other cheap shit. They just make more money on this, and they
Yeah.
charge more money for this,
Yeah.
but they make more money on this.
But I'll tell you a trick. Publix
Yep, that's where I shop.
on their
It's a Tuesday. and
manager special.
Yep.
Because,
Buy one, get one.
Because the organic stuff doesn't last.
Thursday.
Yeah.
And if it's left, it's like 50 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Buy
Yeah.
one, get one.
Buy one, get one all day long. And so you do that. But yeah, so your fruits, your veggies, you got to make sure that it's been super cleaned.
Yeah.
It hasn't been. But now if you look at any of your organic food that comes from outside the U.S., they have to irradiate it.
Jesus.
Why? Because they have to find some way to make sure there's no pestilence coming into the
Right.
country.
Right.
So it's like,
Almost,
so
but no.
if it's organic, not in the U.S., it's
Not organic.
yeah.
Wow.
You know, and so you run into those pieces, and so, so we found some of the best beef that was, Brass Town. Yeah, they'll give me a discount now, guys. I put
Brass Town.
A whole bunch of times.
But and there's a new dairy that we just found outside of Dahlonega, and they do all the A2 cows, so it doesn't have the messed up.
They got the
enzyme.
A2 and the raw. Would I need to get that?
And so but you can find it, but you're gonna need to see that it comes back into your more rural areas. The problem is, somebody said, so what do you think is really the political climate of our country?
Yeah.
I said there's OTP and ITP. They go, what? Inside the perimeter and outside the perimeter.
Like
Because
that.
if you're inside the perimeter, they want the gated community with the steel bars on their parking deck and a security guard in their thing. Because I'm like, isn't that a prison?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's really safe. And I'm like,
it's really safe. Sounds like a prison.
And I've got family that lives in the city.
Yeah.
And then, you got the other people that are outside the community that they grew up plinking with 22s and, they don't lock their doors because... Well,
We don't need to.
Yeah, everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows.
But I'm just saying.
You come in this house, you know what's up.
So there's a very different. It's not right or wrong, but if you're inside the perimeter, you have a very. This is the way you think because it's your experience.
Yep.
Like, I don't worry about going and walking in my neighborhood. You just don't do that in the city, especially at night.
No, not in the city.
Oh, it's a beautiful night. Let's look at the stars.
Yeah. We might not come back, so enjoy it.
Just a second.
Strapped up.
And so it becomes that mindset. But now you've got, if you look at it, just Atlanta proper, the number of people in the city, like, how are you going to feed all those people? Mm-hmm. Versus those of us that are outside the city, we're like, I wouldn't eat that.
Yeah.
And then you can delve into, I was talking with Dr. Tenpenny the other day, and she's been the pioneer in the anti-vax world, and her big thing is informed consent. And she's working with a lot that's going on, and she put out a lot of the research.
I like her already.
And but she said, the biggest thing is the informed consent piece. Like, I was hungry, like, oh man, I got to grab something to eat. I forgot to eat. It's been like 36. Yeah, I need to grab something to eat before we go hang. And I'm like, oh, dude. And so one of our suppliers, Cadwell, called me, and he said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm in line with the healthiest version of 55 food additives that I could possibly have.
You at Chick-fil-A?
He's like, and he said the same thing. I'm like, but I know what's in there. I don't do it all the time.
Right.
And it was like, okay, I probably should eat something.
Yep.
I didn't plan properly. I was like, okay, but it's still just but I knew, and that was like, okay, now that I know, I still went.
Yeah.
But it's not like lie to me and make it sound better.
So is Chick-fil-A considered the healthiest fast food?
No.
What's the healthiest fast food?
Fasting.
No. I'm talking about fast. Like
Fasting.
of
there
the.
isn't any.
So they're all bad across the board. There's not one that's
by
better.
definition, they're all processed.
Yeah, they're all set
They're
up
all
to
preserved.
make profit is the number one objective.
Right.
So, even like a Chipotle,
Yeah.
they make that fresh, but then they're using seed oils and they probably tell them what kind of chemicals they got to make it taste halfway decent. So the only way to just like you said, now if you buy organic stuff that comes from overseas, it's been irradiated. So
it's not organic.
That's why having even if you don't do it, but at least have the ability to grow your own stuff.
Yeah.
That would be great. Now glyphosate is everywhere, so now you have to use fertilizer in order to have a garden. Like I decided not to even have a garden this year because we're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. But
forest.
But I tried the first year. I tried to grow with no fertilizer. Bro, my plants got that big.
Really?
The next year I fertilized them. It was bumper crop. I'm just like, wow. And that's when I really started
Getting into the
looking into
chemicals
the glyphosate and why. What's the problem?
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you what. I'm going to terrify you right now.
it destroys the microbes in the
Microbiome.
soil.
Yeah.
So the plants can't extract the nutrients from the soil that is no longer there because you killed the microbes.
Right.
And now even when you eat healthy, it's like water. It's like so diluted that there's no nutrients in it. So now it's basically everything is basically cardboard.
They just found out that the Gates Foundation, the Gates Foundation, owns like one of the primary feed companies for the cattle companies.
Oh wow.
I'm like,
So are we all
That's why
chipped
that's
now?
why you gotta do
We all got
grass-fed.
chips in us?
Grass-fed,
Bison.
grass-finished. Yeah,
Go
bison.
Bison.
Yep.
So don't even eat beef anymore. Fuck.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
God
that
damn
bison is the least polluted at this point.
Right now. Yeah.
If you look at the history of American bison, the American Indians, that was their entire economy.
Mm-hmm.
Their clothes, their house, their food, their weapons, their everything.
Yeah.
And so, when it came time to take the land, they was like, we can't kill all them savages. We need to kill the buffalo.
Yeah.
That's where buffalo soldiers came from. And they almost got them all. They tried to eradicate every last one of them.
Yep.
Kill the food
and
supply.
And one farmer had some That's the only reason we still have them. They almost took them to extinct.
Yeah.
So, and I basically, when I discovered it back in 98, 99, my buddy Liddell I think he still does, was training Ted Turner's secretary. She used to give him a cooler full of Bison. He used to share it with me. And that's, it's like I say, 1999, 2000.
I went out on his ranch, got to shoot long. I used to build long-range rifles and or prairie dog hunt. We'd go out to Montana. I got to hunt one of his ranges.
Nice.
Cool. It was fun.
You still do that?
I
still build them?
still have them. I don't build them anymore. I may have a shop in Sedona.
Yeah.
I need you to build me one, man.
I picked out my mill, my lathes.
That's right.
It's there.
That's right.
But something to look into is the ruminant carnivores. Like, a lot of times people, you need to get roughage. Why do you need roughage?
Yeah.
Roughage is for like the decayed plant material that doesn't pass through, sticks to everything.
Right.
There is nothing in a ruminant diet that you're lacking, which is crazy when you think about it. Single food source, ruminant carnivore.
So what if they say with the carnivore, because I've done the carnivore before and I felt fucking good. The first 2 weeks was kind of rough, but after that, I felt great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think any one particular diet is like long-term sustainable.
Yeah.
I have a strong preference for the carnivore. I know a lot of people that are straight. In a clinical setting, I can tell you this from experience. If you had a muscle strain injury, hurt your back, lifting, whatever, and I had a vegan that came in, you're going to bounce back in 4 to 6, maybe 8 weeks. They're a solid 8 to 16 weeks.
Wow.
Just because if I were to stack up a whole bunch of Legos and I had red, yellow, red, blue, red, that'd be red meat.
Yeah.
I can just break it in half. And you have long chain amino acids. Here's the long chains. You don't have to break them down anymore. This is exactly what you need. If I take chicken, it's like red, yellow, blue, green, red, yellow, blue, red, blue, red. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to get the red ones out so I can use those.
So I can use it, yeah.
I go with vegetables. It's like green, yellow, green, orange, green, yellow, red, green, yellow, green.
Yeah.
So you have to break it all the way down to get this one.
This is one red block.
Wow.
So when you think about your long chain, short chain, medium chain amino acids, it's how much effort is required to put it into effective use.
So are you on a carnivore diet because of your blood type?
I am pretty much.
Mostly?
I would not insult a true person, a carnivore diet person. I eat a ketogenic carnivore diet. I eat a lot of quality fats, lean red meats, and minimal other things.
Okay.
I supplement because I don't do well with veggies at all.
Okay.
So I supplement with like
your greens and stuff like
that. Spirulina, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting that everybody's into wheatgrass, and I'm like, why are you doing wheatgrass?
Because somebody told them. That's why.
Yeah, because it's great, but at the same point,
it's grass.
It's grass.
Yeah.
It's like
there's
grass.
the other word in there, grass.
Yeah, I'm not. I do mostly protein and veggies, and really my only veggies is arugula and watercress, and then I do all the berries.
Yeah.
The rest is protein.
Your 4 horsemen salad's pretty good.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But it has to be broken down. But it also activates the first cycle of the liver, which is important.
Yeah.
But it's not as critical as not loading it up with grains and sugars.
Right.
Yeah, and also, if you're doing that, then like you say, it's not as important because you're not taxing it, the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why some veggies are good for you because they go through the first phase of the liver. But like you said, if you're a carnivore, then the cows already ate the veggies,
right.
And so your liver has less work to do. In other words, so
less stress on your body.
Yeah.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. All right. Because the thing is, like, once something becomes a fad in this country, then you have everybody's an expert all of a sudden. No, you need to do it this way.
I always tell people you can study and learn and Google anything you want, but you don't know it until you've done it.
Until you do it
repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
And you've done it correctly for you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
people like the arguments, the comments. You're arguing about something that you read about. Yes, you know of it. Yes, you have but you have no experience in it. You haven't done it, so you don't know it. You know of it.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
My favorite is when people try to tell you about bodybuilding.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Have you ever worked out?
Arguments with people about
Like,
training, and I'm just like, bro, you're exercising.
You're not training.
You're not doing what I'm doing. We are not the same. You are not like us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I correct people. Oh my God, it's the same thing you was doing.
Yeah.
Visually, you can't even tell the difference. I just showed you
You'll
what.
drag somebody in because you can't watch them train. You'll be like,
I can't.
I just need you to fit. Yeah, just.
First of all, I'll be like,
and then
why?
they'll be like,
Why are you doing it? What are you trying to accomplish? Oh,
Right.
no.
What's the purpose? Yeah.
Well, then stop doing that crazy stuff and just do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
teaching guys how to build their arms. How you get your arms so big? I said, well, I started using my biceps. Instead of just curling 75s, I use my biceps and can only curl 20.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and you
So
get
now
that full range motion in there. Now,
Speaking of biceps.
That full stretch.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I always tell people, listen, life is short.
Yeah.
You definitely need to learn on your own.
We should. Yeah.
But you should learn from someone who's done what you're doing.
Yeah.
That way they can tell you what not to do, because that's half the time. Like, say, in other words, this is all the time. Half the time is doing some shit that you shouldn't have been doing in the first place.
Yeah.
So if you just get a mentor, now all you got to do is focus on that, and now you're good.
Yeah.
and
Right,
it's like
good.
we've had different conversations. Like, yeah, dude, bodybuilding is horrible on your body.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that they do, and we're not even going to get into the steroid side of it.
Yeah.
But it's like you dehydrate muscles, and you do all these things, and it serves a purpose. And it's great as long, I quote unquote live a lifestyle of rehab. Why? I have been an adrenaline junkie my whole life.
Right.
What I tell you, I'm in a constant state of detox.
Yeah.
I live in it.
Like legit.
Because I know what's happening.
That's
Yeah.
why I fast.
Yeah.
Like, so when we ended up doing that, I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna eat. I was just disgusted. Well, like, fine, I'm just gonna
I'm just saying I'm gonna
I'm
eat.
just done. Like, I'm gonna take January because I'm gonna do a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
And if it's only gonna last for January,
Right. Might as well get
I'm
to
gonna
it.
get it.
Check
So
that
I
box.
fasted every Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, had dinner on Wednesday night, and usually made it till Thursday. The first 4 weeks of the year, I was like, I feel amazing.
Happy.
It was
Logged out.
incredible.
Yeah.
And so I ended up doing, I did 48 hours every week for the first 90 days last year.
Wow.
And I didn't, I was like, you know what? I want a burger. I'm going to eat a burger.
Yeah.
I don't want that bread tore me to pieces.
Yeah, it's the bread, right?
Or, and sometimes I do sourdough, and now he'll tell you my wife's a sourdough. Like,
Oh my goodness. So I gotta tell you, I gotta finish to say, add to the brisket story.
Oh yeah. Tell me about this brisket, man. I keep hearing about
The
it.
brisket out, and it's so juicy and all that type of stuff. And so at the bottom of the brisket pan is this sauce. It's like this, I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Like this sauce.
Like the juice or something?
And so the young bucks, they say when something's good, they say it's slap.
Oh yeah. That's
cool.
the new thing.
So his wife makes a sourdough. It looks like a pizza, but she said, no, this is a focaccia. A focaccia. Focaccia?
Yeah, focaccia, yeah.
So I took a piece of focaccia, I dipped it into the juice,
Yeah.
and I ate it, and I was like, damn, that slapped the focaccia.
That's so funny.
yeah,
It was
Wow, man. I wish this was sitting on the table right now. I start eating it right.
Honestly, bro, that thing was so
Chase.
good. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't know I
Come
liked
on
brisket
now.
like this. 'Cause I haven't had one that came
Was done
even close
right.
to that.
Yeah.
I need you to call me next time this happens.
Oh, it's about to happen.
Okay.
We're going to be doing that on the regular.
Let's do
You
it.
show up with a brisket and leave it there, it'll happen.
I'm gonna let's go get some briskets, man.
But it's not that hard. It's just they've worked so hard to lie to you
Yeah.
and mislead you into a lifestyle that feeds their economy.
Exactly.
Like, you realize the food pyramid was developed by Kellogg.
Oh yeah.
When
yeah.
was the last time
Yeah.
you sat down and said, "Oh,
You
well,
need
there's
9
2 servings here. You should have 14 servings of this today."
Yeah, like what?
Like, you should have 14 servings of breads, grains, and cereals. Yeah, our whole product line, as much as you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
Yeah,
All
you
of
hear
our
people
stuff.
talking about, I'm going to get you a certified nutritionist. Yeah, they follow the food pyramid. What you going to do?
Wow.
Why would you do that?
The other side of that is most people don't realize where ketogenics came from. It started in Europe in 1911 with children with epilepsy and neurological disorders in the brain.
Wow.
Then, well, if they don't eat any of the other stuff, they're fine.
Wow.
That was the birth of the
1911.
carnivore. Wow. And so what happens is your brain is 80% fat.
Right.
Well, it has to be good fat. Because if you eat Crisco and seed oils and all that stuff, that's not metabolically acceptable for your body.
Right.
So do you want a Crisco brain, or do you want, a lard
salmon brain or a lard brain. Yeah.
Or, you render the fat and stuff, and now they're
demonized saturated fat.
And it's not. It's the grains. Like when they had that switch, and so you literally invert the food pyramid, and you're fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like if you eat a little bit of bread, you okay?
Yeah.
As long as most of your
back
proteins and
to
oils.
talking about being seasonal. Carnivore is the only thing that's all year round. Everything else is
seasonal. It's by definition.
That's facts, man.
So your whole diet living in Georgia, you need 2/12 or 1/6 should be berries. 1/6 should be, veggies.
So do you eat any like salads or anything like that as well? You don't eat at all. So you get all your greens.
I do spirulina, I do my chlorellas and stuff, but then I also do like asparagus, broccoli, green beans. I don't do the leafy veggies. I'm not a rabbit.
Okay. Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah. I got a whole bunch of shit I'm going to be trying.
And the thing is, and that's the part, and circling all that back around, dude, bro, you just get that machine from him. You drink a gallon of that water a day, and you fast 3 days every week. We sit down in 3 weeks.
All right, let's do that.
You're gonna be like, what? This is off the hook.
Let's do that. So I'll do it for 3 weeks, and then you come back on, and I'll tell you exactly.
You'll be like, I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah. I mean, I almost fast for a whole day now. I mean, when I get up, I'll have my coffee, but I won't have anything but water.
Yeah, no coffee.
Right. No, but I'm saying this is
okay.
I'm not trying
detox.
to. You know what?
When I fast, there's no caffeine.
Yeah, at all.
Ooh, you're forcing your body to You are like, and your body is telling you, I'm tired.
Yeah. Is it your body or your mind?
No, your body.
Your body's telling you? Okay.
Yeah.
That first couple of days is no joke.
Yeah.
And then you can get into I take naps every day. Why? Because they're brilliant. If you look at the NASA research on naps, if you take a 4 to 6 ounce cup of black coffee, drink it, and lay down for 26 minutes, what happens is the caffeine reduces the adenosine in your brain, which is what creates the brain fog, shuts the system down. But that 26-minute nap is like 2 hours of sleep at night.
No kidding.
I mean, it's like crazy. And this is all natural.
So you drink your coffee and then go take a nap for 26 minutes.
If I've got a lot to get done, I usually try to avoid the coffee. But if I'm like, okay, if I go home from here and we're done, and I'm like, okay, I need to reset. Because most people don't allow their body to shut down, reset, wake up in a new state. Yep. They're just like, dun, 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 dun. And what's the first thing you grab? I grab a Starbucks on the way, and don't even get me on ground coffee. If you're drinking ground coffee,
I mean pre-ground or ground?
Yeah, you got to grind your own beans.
You talking about so the Nespresso makers and Keurigs and all that stuff, does it make you crazy?
Look up the allowed legal limit of organic material in your ground coffee.
Really?
Now, organic material sounds great.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know that 10%, it can be upwards of 8 to 10% organic material. Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
Cockroaches.
I was just about to say bugs.
Bugs and rat poop.
Damn. Fuck, I'm throwing. Now I gotta throw shit away.
Yeah,
No.
get the grinder.
No, dude.
Chase, what the fuck, man? Why'd you bring this guy today? I gotta throw my waters away. I gotta throw my
These are
fuck.
my people.
Yeah.
Didn't you say, it's like, I would say that you were in the know.
Yeah.
You're working on it.
It's so funny because I've been an athlete my whole life, and I don't know a lot of shit I learned about the water and stuff like that. You hear shit, but not in depth where you're like, oh, wait a minute.
So the reason why I got into this stuff is because being an athlete and being an older athlete, like I said, I turned pro at 36, and you're trying to do something, and then everybody you're competing against is 29, 28,
right.
31. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like 40. So I was like, I got to be healthy. I got to figure out how do I be as healthy as possible. I got to be healthier than them.
If you're gonna do
because
coffee,
I'm 10 years older than them.
one, it's stainless.
Okay.
You can grind your own coffee.
Okay. That's what
And
I
you
need
can
to
still
do.
use your Keurig.
Here, I'm gonna
We
send
will
this to
be
my.
importing beans from Uganda and other places.
Oh, I already got it.
Roasted,
When you
I
come
said.
up to the house, I'll take you to Because Coffee. Doug, super cool guy. He's got one at Cummings Civic Center. I think he's got one at Avalon, and he's got one, or Halcyon, and he's got one up there. He's right by us, right by the outlets. But he gets all of his beans fresh, and he does
Thank
the
you.
roasting right from the ground.
So okay.
I'm just saying, but it's like, oh, I can now make an informed decision.
Exactly.
Versus, like, I knew I was going for 55 food additives in my chicken strips today.
Yeah.
Like, it's chicken. Like, what are you adding?
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing. But I knew it, and I still went. The problem is, if people really
Let me ask you a
knew,
question.
you don't want to give it to your kids either. They'll off the rails.
Oh man. That's what I was.
Is 11 herbs and spices better than 55?
I got a 55
KFC,
microgreens.
KFC and Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah.
Who's the best? 11 herbs and spices and 55.
Yeah.
Depends on what's on those herbs, man.
Yeah.
I know it's a joke, but yeah.
It's a THC kind of chicken.
Right.
I love when somebody says, "Oh no, I'm eating Subway. It's like healthy. I'm on a diet." You're like, "What?"
Because the fat dude lost weight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that one
made
guy,
that say-
and it wasn't even for that. It came out
He
later,
was chasing kids around. That's
and he
why
got
lost
fat
weight.
again. By the way.
No, because he's a pedophile. He was chasing kids
Oh yeah,
around.
that too.
Oh, God.
That too. Don't eat at Subway.
Stop chasing kids, I'm fat again.
Yes.
You know, and our government gets a lot of flack, and it deserves it now. The excess is insane. But you got to realize that, I hate to use the term corporate espionage, but like, our government is not out there burning down chicken houses and eggs.
No.
Nope.
No, but the people that are trying to drive the price of that stuff up are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Like the people would cut off the water, they did that.
In
For
California?
almonds. Because they allotted the water to the almonds. It's crazy. You find stuff out like this,
crazy,
you be
man.
like, follow money, you be like, I'll be damn.
oh,
Yeah.
What do you think about RFK and his whole thing about changing the health and what he's doing? Yeah, right. It's a relief.
Yeah.
yeah. He's really big into chiropractors.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to meet him at the GCA convention right before he came in. It's like, yeah, well, we're gonna be making a run for it, so I hope I can count on you. Like, we're in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I like him, but he's gonna split that ticket. The best alignment would be if like
Yeah.
he could be under Trump, and then
Yeah.
he could get stuff going, and then he could run as the and then you kind of go with a. and Trump now, and then you get the next guy.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like Kennedy, and Kennedy becomes VP, and then it's like
Yeah.
we can finally fix some stuff up. But
I would
the
love to
reality-
see in 28 JD Vance and RFK. That would be
That'd be
insane.
off the chain,
Absolutely.
man.
I would
28
go
and
bananas over that.
That'd be
28
off the
and-
chain right there.
I'm not sure if I'm disconnected something.
Well, it's just a cord over there.
Yeah, you're good.
Did he?
No, that's the other one.
Okay.
That's for the other one. See, we
We do have blooper reels.
yeah, there
I'm
you go.
definitely in favor. But you see, he was attacking the system before because like he dealt with the Monsanto.
Yeah,
issues. Like
yeah.
he's been like, and he is very very intelligent. And I have a lot of friends that are mutual like good friends with him. So I'm hoping that I can kind of get. I want to get in there
get in
because
front of
really
him.
what happened was. You got to realize that the vaccine companies haven't been tested in years, and he got sued for saying that.
I remember.
The pharmaceutical, do you know he won?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't produce any clinical trials for vaccines since
Yeah.
'88. Like we're just following
in-
the formula,
in
we're
it-
just using, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like
Technically, in the vaccine, it's basically an immune system stimulator, basically.
no.
No, what is it? What I'm saying is the purpose of it. I'm saying the purpose.
It must
In
be
other
bad.
words,
I need to get shit.
It must
I
be
got
bad.
Dr. Tempany on this. So originally, We're going to roll with it.
No, go ahead.
All right, so take your phone.
Okay.
I want you to look up polio transmission.
Polio transmission.
Okay, so before you go into that, like your polio started, everything, we got to get vaccines because it helped with polio. What was the number one method of travel between the continents in 1950? Boat. It was a 2-week trip. Now, if we have E. coli in Lake Allatoona, which happens a lot, they don't shut down Lanier. They don't shut down, Lake Weiss. They don't shut down Lake Hartwell. They don't shut down in Tennessee. Why? Because it's in Allatoona. That's the problem.
Yeah.
People that are in London aren't getting sick because there's E. coli in Lake Allatoona, and we have flights on a regular basis. So, polio is an oral fecal transmission.
Wow.
Well, it can get into dirty sewage. Who's pooping in the water supply?
Yeah.
How did it go from one little geographic location to it needs to be the whole world? Wow. Now, it may be scary because now why your grandma had, plastic on her couch because she's freaky.
Yeah.
But that's just not a normal thing. Yes, it can happen. But, it isn't going to happen.
Oral fecal
Contaminate. Look at it.
I mean, that's like literally.
I
I'm on Google, so I don't know if Google's gonna.
Birds and birds count with fecal material or respiratory secretions.
So even Google is admitting it, which is.
Wow. Well, they haven't got to that yet. Most people aren't going to search that and find that.
They're going to find out. Well, okay. So
look.
After this episode,
fecal oral.
it was a slight issue with.
They're gonna blow up.
It's a little bit of an issue with infants. Why? Because they got a diaper, man. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you play.
Yeah, look, it says.
Sewer,
As soon as you said that, children under 5 years of age are at the highest risk of contracting polio.
So if you go to the CDC, you probably can't find the research anymore. Dr. Sherry Tempany's got some books out. If you can find them, go get them before they burn them. The reality of the situation is, according to the CDC, do you know how they just switched from the polio vaccine, we need to go to a nasal spray? Do you know why they did that?
Why?
Because every single case of polio in the world
came from the vaccine.
Since 1965.
God damn.
Do you remember a few years back, there was we got to worry about bacterial meningitis. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
One kid came down with it in Stockbridge. They vaccinated practically the entire East Coast.
What?
And had 800 cases.
Wow.
So what the theory is in a vaccine is you weaken it. How do you weaken a virus? It's called attenuation. How do you attenuate it?
Speaking to the mic.
And how do you attenuate it? Well, it used to be thimerosal, which is a mercury derivative.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute. You're altering a virus to make it weaker by giving it mercury and then putting it in my body?
Right. To help me.
To help me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, if I was going to go, I would never vaccinate for any reason at any point in my life. Never have been.
Yep.
You've never been vaccinated.
And you're not an anti-vaxxer. Knock yourself out if you want to do it yourself.
If you want to do it, just don't, But there's some definite flaws in the logic. But here's the thing. One, I don't trust the way any of them are made anymore.
Why
There's
would
no
you?
way to. 40 years ago when some people had some liability, you know what? If I'm going to get in a boat and go up the Amazon and run into stuff that I have never run into before, and you have some blood type based vaccines that were grown in human tissues, great. We don't.
Yeah.
If you've ever been vaccinated, you have immunoglobulins that are response mechanisms based on monkeys, chickens, horses, eggs, rats. So from a genetic standpoint, if you've ever been vaccinated, you are no longer 100% human.
Yep.
Wow.
And when you go, wait a second, what now? We're not even going to get into the mRNA stuff, but you have markers that they're not human. So when the body gets sick and it's like, wait a second, I'm healthier now. Do you realize that your autoimmune diseases are a healthy response to a foreign invader? That foreign invader happens to be the immunizations in your system that the body is attacking that aren't human immunoglobulins.
Wow.
There was some research that
You got your boots on, this shit getting deep.
Oh, man, I'm like,
No, I'm just saying that
No,
like,
it's-
you were just
I love
asking.
it.
Like
I
it's
love
like,
it.
well, wait a second. Now wait a minute. And so you run into these things, you're like, okay. So when you start doing the research on like, well, what's autoimmune disease? Well, how do you get it? There was a significant difference between people that have never been vaccinated and people that have been.
Yep.
People that have had one or two versus the whole slew.
wow.
At which point you're injecting it into a bloodstream. I'm an O. I don't even want to eat like an A, let alone get immune. Like, you can't do a trans. So your immune system is based on your white blood cells.
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Well, white blood cells. Well, what if you're injecting me with like a blood type? Yeah, well, I can't do that. I'm O. I can give to anybody.
Yeah.
Well, why are you injecting me with immunotherapies based on the wrong blood type? Like, it doesn't even make sense from a.
It doesn't.
And when in 84, 80, I can't remember off the top of my head, they absolved them of responsibilities and liability. Well, we can just
Do whatever.
run it up, man.
Yep.
Let's go for broke. So you can't sue if you could prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that autism was caused in your child by the vaccine, and you could absolutely 100%
Yeah.
prove it, batch date, you can't sue the company.
Wow, man, that's
The government will write you a check and say, here's $100,000, we're sorry.
right.
Yep.
Right. Look,
That's preposterous.
that's crazy.
Like, even in the free market, there's a whole.
Give and take, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember what I said about being born 90% human and
Yeah.
dying
Yeah.
10% human?
That's exactly what. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that's getting really complicated as the research is just starting to come out. If you look at there was a slight difference if you took the Johnson & Johnson jab versus everybody else's. Because theirs was a little bit more like traditional. Not good. You could still be a chicken, a monkey, a pig, or an ape.
Right.
But you didn't have the mRNA piece. So what happens is messenger RNA is what causes your DNA to transfer back and forth to say, let's create this.
Yeah.
So a big problem, and we're getting great results with people from, like, if you got vaccinated, I'm here, I get your slough off, I may get some spike proteins in my bloodstream, but I can do a detox and get rid of that. I do the same detox to you, you're now going to see routine spike protein therapies become the norm. Because if you got the jab and I didn't, I'm around you, I get it, I pick it up, great. I can do a detox. It's like a parasite cleanse. You are by definition parasitic to me because your spike proteins are transferable.
Wow.
But you will never not have the issue because every time your body produces a new cell, it's producing a new spike protein cell.
It's carrying over.
And when you have children,
Oh, it goes with them too. Wow.
And they're still
Shit.
promoting it. I saw
And
it.
today on
my way
Alpha
over
Hour-
here. On my way over
Yes,
here,
sir.
I saw a lady.
the
Get
fecal,
your right-
contamin-
get
the
your-
fecal contamination has hit the random oscillator.
Get your life right.
The shit has hit the fan.
Yeah.
I saw a lady this morning with a mask on, a thick one too, by herself in the car. I wanted to tell her, I'm like, it's 2020. I was like, what's today's date? It's
Yeah,
2025.
yeah.
Cut it out.
My favorite is this one though. My favorite is when COVID was going on. There was a lady that I
He
saw.
said I have to try this. So
Oh, bro, you gotta
We
try
gotta
it.
wash
Yeah,
that
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Get a
No, we
clean
got clean. Yeah, in that box right there. Yeah. You're not drinking by yourself either. Yeah. Then go ahead and get three. Go ahead and get three.
Oh, you're not allowed to drink? You're not old enough yet?
He's on his 7 day.
He's trying to be.
He's on his 7-day back.
Yeah. So first of all, let me tell you, when we drank this
Yeah.
to try it. Were you ready for it? Like I was waiting for like a bitter, like some kind of alcohol taste, right?
No.
Bro, you don't taste any of the alcohol. It's amazing. It's like a Reese's cup.
Like if I served that, I would put like, some chocolate chips in the bottom of it or something.
Oh, that's a great idea. Great idea.
So,
Chocolate on the rim? Oh, yeah.
Thank you, brother.
so
See, he pours correct, man.
Michael's
I'm
no
a
joke.
I'm a Scotch drinker, man.
I love
That's a
it,
finger.
man. That's what I'm talking about. Well,
Do you know why it's called a shot?
why it's called a shot? Tell me why it's called a shot.
So you could walk in out west. You could walk into a bar, put a 45 long Colt down, and you got you one shot of alcohol.
I like it. We should start doing that from now on. When we go to the restaurant, just take my fucking.
To
Hey,
2025
that's right.
to making America informed and healthy.
That's right,
you
baby.
Ooh, that does smell good.
That's ridiculous to me.
Have you ever had chocolate cake shots?
Is that what it tastes like? No, I haven't.
So you take frangelica.
Okay.
You take lemon, citron, like
Yeah.
lemon vodka.
Yeah.
You take a lemon wedge. You put sugar on the rim. Throw back this frangelica and lemon vodka. Bite it. And after you bite it, it goes over your tongue. When you open your mouth, it's like you just put your grandma's hot chocolate in your mouth. And it just
What?
craziest
Hey,
thing.
so
We discovered that when we were having a bad day and we were on our way back from the hospital when Sky was at Scottish Rite. She spent a year there.
yeah.
Our daughter, that one that I showed you,
Yeah.
was at Scottish Rite for a year with it.
1 year.
Her second year, she had a year and a half of 100 hours a week of home health care.
Wow, man.
Sketches all get out. But anyways, we showed up at the bar and we're like, yeah, and the guy was like, I've seen some people come in here, but y'all look wrong out. And we're like, well, our daughter's been at Scottish Rite now for 4 months. It's been a rough time.
Yeah.
You guys like chocolate cake? I'm like, yeah. And I thought he was going to bring us in. He goes,
Yeah.
and he sets the French out. He goes, y'all need this.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm like, what is it? He goes, just. And Ab and I looked at each
Yeah,
other.
go ahead and make 14 more.
Ab,
Yeah.
She's like,
Celebration.
yeah.
Well,
But yeah, so there's lots of things like that, and not the chocolate cake shots, but just like for instance, most Scotch was actually allowed during Prohibition because it actually has 14 health benefits. But if you're an asthmatic, it will immediately if you have an asthma attack, it'll immediately vasodilate your
so you drink scotch when you have an asthma attack and you're good?
Yeah, it'll save your life.
Well, you know what that's
'Cause I
like?
grew up as an asthmatic.
You know what that's like? I had asthma too when I was a kid. My grandfather was old school, right? I mean, you talking about like, growing their food and shit. I mean, he was born in Russia.
Yeah.
And they literally grew what they ate.
Yeah.
So even cattle, you know what I mean? Everything was, they knew.
In other words, they were healthy.
They were actually healthy. Yeah. And let me tell you something else. He lived to be like 114 years old, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And, he was born before they registered people where he was. So they kind of guessed. He's about 7, 8. Right.
Got an X on.
Right. So, and so so when he's visiting, right, if I had coughed or if I was like, man, I got a cold or whatever, he's like, all right, no medicine. He would go get the cognac. He would do, make the hot toddy, you know what I mean? But
honey, cognac,
right.
scotch, and cinnamon.
right. So he would make that. He's like, drink this, and I would drink it, and literally whatever was
Next
going
day,
on,
wake up
gone, like legit gone, man. Legit gone.
So you've alluded because I said scotch. You a scotch drinker?
I like scotch, yeah, bro.
What kind you like?
You tell me.
My favorite. Actually, I really like the Abelauer series, but you know that burn?
Oh yeah.
It's like it burns like something else.
Yeah.
Your soul healing.
Is it?
Really?
So when we went
Or your
to
soul getting punched in the face?
no, it's that burn. It's
It's
like
a good heal. It's a good heal, man.
But no, funny true story. So I got Jackie. It's all my kids. They're my kids.
Yeah.
And so I thought, they're all Scotch Irish, so they're going to drink.
Yeah.
The best I can do is hopefully when they go to college, they won't like the cheap stuff.
Right.
So I ruined it for Jackie. So, we brought home, and she got used to like the stuff, but there's a, I actually need to finish writing this and send it off to Cigar Aficionado. So my dad died when I was 7, but he had open heart surgery when I was 4. And he went in to have surgery. He said, hey, if something happens to Poppy, to my uncle, if something happens, make sure you promise me to take care of my family.
Yeah.
Well, 10 years later, after his wife died, my mom ended up marrying him. He was there. He was my Uncle Lou. He was like, but he was my dad's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my stepfather, who was my dad's best friend. When he talked about my dad, he missed my dad more than I did.
I bet.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it was a really cool dynamic. He never once tried to replace him.
Right.
I said, oh, no. Jack was my father. You're my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't mean to
Explain the
interrupt you.
difference. Right, like,
And I was like, he was my father, but you... You have dealt with all my bullshit, my teenage years, my business, my mind. Like, you're my dad. And I made sure I told him that long before he passed away. So we were really
that's really
close.
cool. That's really cool.
But
That's
he
one
always...
of the best situations to be in. I mean, maybe not initially, maybe not when a couple split up, but what I'm saying is when some other man steps in. Now, having...
And loved your dad.
Exactly. That's crazy.
That's
just so rare. That's like...
next level.
So he turned... he was always telling me stories about, like, my dad and he were doing something and they had a bottle of scotch and went overboard, and your dad free dove 65 feet in the bottom of the lake in, like, February when it broke through, and he comes up, he's like, we're not losing this scotch. I'm like, that's just my dad. That's how my dad was. My dad grabbed the anchor and jumped overboard after a bottle of scotch.
That's awesome.
And, like, Sunapee. But I'm like, that's just the story is my, you know, so they had a really good relationship. So I wanted to write this article called Of Scotch and Stogies, the story of my two dads.
Yeah.
And it was just like...
That's a bestseller.
And it is.
That's a bestseller.
That's a movie.
And so...
That's a bestseller.
Yeah.
And so he turned like 60, 70. Yeah, I guess he turned 70.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, what do you buy a man who's done everything?
Everything there is to do.
Given everything he needed for you. He doesn't need it. He doesn't want anything. You get him a phone wallet. You know. And I was like, you know what? And I had scotch because we always had it in the house. I had it in my room. I had a little thing in case my asthma got bad in the middle of the night. It was just what we did. But he and my dad, scotch and stogie. So, I'm a doctor. It's my first year out. I've got my own practice. I'm like,
I'm a doctor now. Yeah.
And I'm like, I got the perfect gift.
Yeah.
So I bought like an 18-year-old Macallan.
Nice.
And like,
oh yeah, Macallan's great.
Like 8 cigars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't wait to give it to you. So he shows up at like 2:00 in the afternoon because they drove in. It was like 6 hours away. Like, I was like, look at this. I want to see it. And I'm like, you can tell me stories about my dad. And I'm thinking, 8 cigars is like 8 months worth of smoking.
Yeah.
A whole bottle of scotch is like, that's going to last you at least 2 months, right?
A normal person. A normal person.
Dude, by 4:00, he's like, get this thing. Okay, I'll show you. He goes, and I go to open it. He, whoa.
What are you doing?
Like, what? No. This is an 18-year-old scotch. So we're just going to say this is an 18-year-old scotch.
Yeah.
It is 2025.
Yeah.
So this was bottled
In 1999.
in 2007.
Yeah.
What happened to you in 2007?
What happened to me?
So Lexi,
I
Lexi was born in...
A lot of shit.
I made it to the top 5 in the world in bodybuilding.
Okay, so now when we open this bottle, that first whiff is 2007. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, it's a great...
That is...
like, of scotch.
I'm going to start doing that with everything.
I'm going...
Whoa.
He's going to go...
What's the name of... I'm going to pull me some scotch on my way home.
Oh, yeah, the Macallan is off the chain.
I mean,
yeah.
Macallan 18 is great, but the Aberlour, Abenad, and Castle is amazing.
Is it? I haven't had that.
It's a $100 bottle, but I'll put it up against the $300 bottle.
It's
now
not the money, man. I've learned. Like, I tell you, man, with alcohol, like that, Richard said that's $25, right? That's $300. I'm going to say this tastes better than that, right?
The taste ain't no question.
Right. I don't know.
It's not even.
And it feels good, too. I mean, it's not like, it's...
So circling back around on that scotch story, that's the way Jackie grew up. So my 26-year-old super proud, and he'll tell you I should be. But she's got a double major from tech.
Yeah.
Economics and.
This is the one that was born with the.
No, this is my first one.
Okay, it's first one.
So Jackie's 26. She's got a economics and international affairs degrees, 2 degrees from tech.
Wow.
Starts her own company. But when she gets her first job, they're like, yeah, well, we're going to send you to HubSpot. And HubSpot is like the ultimate CRM management integration. Put your business together.
Yeah.
Like if you.
hire her.
Yeah.
If you want to
Let's go.
if you want to put something together,
Yeah.
I will put Jackie against anybody else.
No, she's
And-
done. Just
So-
give me her number.
They're all like, you know, and everybody's jockeying. You've been there. Everybody's trying to get you attention, trying to do this stuff, and she's just like me. She's just kind of like, okay, I'm over it. I'm just gonna go to the hotel bar. She sits down, and she's like, "Do you have an 18-year-old McAllen?"
Hey,
And he's like, "Yeah."
nobody says that.
And she goes, "Yeah, I have a neat
Wow.
big drink for a little girl,
What's a neat?
no ice,
No,
straight up."
Just like this.
It's like, and so, anyways,
Later.
they're going up, and she's like, he's got the bottle. She goes, "I hate to ask, but there's just a little bit left. Can you open that 18-year-old for me?" And he goes like, "Girl, I'll do anything you want." So she's there, right? And she goes, "Well, no, don't pop the top off." And she looks at him and goes, "What were you doing 18 years ago?" She's telling this to the bartender.
Oh, no shit.
And the guy over here is like, looking at her.
Yeah.
And he's like, so he starts like talking to her. And she's like, "Oh, dude, this old guy is just gonna be."
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's just
yeah.
like all.
Trying to be all sleazy.
And he's like, "No, you like seem to really know your Scotch stuff." And she's like, "Uh huh." It's the president of HubSpot.
Oh, stop.
Your mouth.
What?
Shut your mouth.
You know, everybody's jockeying for business. She
What?
just goes over. She's like off to the side doing her own thing. And he's like, "I
Wow.
want you." She's got every.
That's the universe. The universe goes, hey, I'm going to put
Totally.
you here, and I'm going to bring you and put you here.
It's not. You're not being secluded. You're being set apart.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah, 100%.
When God chooses you, He sets you apart. Okay, I need you to be over there. Get
Yeah.
away from them over there.
Yeah, don't talk to him.
You know, it's interesting because like,
Wow.
the term vibing. You know, like harmonic
Yeah.
used to be. Oh, we have chemistry. That was the pharmaceutical.
That was, yeah.
No, there's the energy, there's the vibe. And I did not know this, and it was the coolest thing ever. You go to a store and just talk, a guitar store,
Yeah.
and he goes, "I want you to tune all these guitars from this one." So they set it up, they get this guitar, and then they go tune it. But when you strike any string on that guitar, every guitar that you tuned with it, the string will vibrate whether you touch it or not.
The same string.
It's a harmonic. It's a vibe.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And so when you get in, you know, I'm big into the manifesting and mindset and peace and what you focus in on.
Yep.
And this will tap into the conversation that we had.
Frequency, sound, and resonance.
I mean, we talk
And-
about that all the time.
And, you know, I'm one of those guys where you're like, "Oh, you want to talk this? Great, we'll have this story." Oh, you want to talk about building rifles? I can show you how to true in action on a Remington 700. Oh, I'm just that guy.
Yeah.
But if you're not asking, I ain't talking. I'm just going to go wood
that
into
guy.
work.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm going to go work
What's
in the
that?
wood
What's
shop.
that? What was that? The most interesting man. You kind of look like him, motherfucker. You kind of. I'm just saying. You kind of look like him, man.
Much. But what happens is,
my friend.
Yes. I swear, like I'm looking at you now. I'm like,
Now
were
you
you doing these commercials at Dos
unsee it.
Equis?
You can't unsee
Chase,
it.
tell me he doesn't look like the most interesting man in the world guy. Right? Put him in a suit right now with a bunch of 20-year-olds around him at a bar.
Yeah. The doc will get you right, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna
man.
lie.
No, listen. So when Tony first told me about you, he was like, "Listen, man, this is like our kind of human being." You know what I mean? Because we don't like we're just different, which has always been different. You know, every stage of life has been different. Like it's you know.
You know me long enough now to know that I'm pretty much different.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So that's why, like, when we met that first time, it was like I feel like, you know, the energies was just like,
Yeah.
yo, you guys, you know,
I wonder if you'll order all those pancakes again though next time.
I'm gonna order all the. Bro, yeah. So, Chet, were you there? Were you there for that, bro? Everything he said not to eat, I ordered.
He ordered everything.
I had the water from the tap and the shit.
The sparkling
I
water.
literally ordered every kind of pancake they had.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I'll be a different ordering. That's I'm like, you have just meat.
Convicted.
He's gonna be going. We're gonna show up. He's gonna be fasting.
I'm delivered.
I know, right? I'll bring my water thing with me. Like, you know, what are you doing over there? None. Don't worry about it. But yeah, man, he was telling me, I was like,
it's
man.
the vibe, you know. And Tony and I get like this. Dude, we
Yeah.
just get cut, and our wives are like, "Oh."
Here they go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
We're not gonna ever have any boring seminar. When we start doing what
Oh
we're
yeah.
gonna be doing,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
it's gonna be standing room only.
Yeah.
Eating up every word. Because you have to understand, we're speaking from living it.
Right.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not like
yes,
books.
He studied and I did,
Yeah.
but we lived it.
Yeah.
So it's a different way of revealing it,
Yeah.
teaching it. Because you're speaking from a perspective of, I know exactly what's going to happen. If you do this, this, and this, I can tell you pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, there's another thing that, you'll do it because it makes you well, but if your kid's sick,
It's different.
it's just next level.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we went through
All of
everything. And it was amazing, the stuff that you find out.
it. Yeah.
From RO water to sugars to fructose corn syrup to grains to, it's like, wow.
I mean, I'll be honest, man. For somebody who's been around the health world my whole life, I was a professional fighter. I did all that shit. Go ahead, brother. Come on now.
I'm good on that.
Tony's
already feeling it.
Tony's a lightweight. His metabolism was too fast. But coming from a world where I was around athletes and special operators and stuff like that, it was never like disinformation. You know what I mean? It was always the bread and butter, right? Like, no, you gotta eat your steak, you gotta eat your bread, you gotta eat your pasta.
When people start talking about what do you call it? Tricks of the trade and secrets and all that.
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff
This is it.
I be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Where other people, they're like, oh,
What are you talking about?
Never heard of that.
What are you talking about?
How would that help?
And that's the conspiracy realist is because we're now at a point bringing it back, I guess, around like, wow, we just rabbit circles all great. Bobby Kennedy wants to make America healthy again. Who do we trust? We were trusting them and they killed us.
Right.
Yeah, because their
Like,
definition
what do
of health.
What do I do now?
Yeah,
Who do I trust? And so he and I were having this conversation. Like, I want to, because I'm moving to Sedona for whatever reasons, and I had some health stuff that was just miraculously different being there. The energy's amazing. And I'm like, I'm going to go do this, and I want to get the money. And so in the trading company, I'm like, okay, I'm 2.5, 3 years out, and I could probably pull this $30 million deal out. Because the trade company, I mean, you've traded, and you're like, dude, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so what
That's
happened,
really cool too, by the way. He's been showing me what you've been showing him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to learn. I need to sit down and dive all the way in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm big on that kind of stuff, man.
I can tell you right now, trading first thing this morning, 9:30. I don't even have to look. There's your 9:30 to 10:30ish.
Yeah.
Boom, take it up. You can just post every single day.
Is it the
You
same?
can take those trades every single day.
Wow.
So basically, what happened is I was in this space.
Yeah.
And COVID hit, and I was like, oh, what is this and this and that? And then everything got stuck on ships. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have my money make money. And because we had, Skylar had been in the hospital for 2 years, basically. We're like, we'll just take 2 years. We're just going to live the lake. And Tony was there the whole time. He's like, dude, you have to admit it. The Roaring 20s party was the way to bring in 2020. And
Who knew that this shit was going to hit the fan right after that?
I was in the right place for us to hit the shit. Tony I'm coming to fish. We're there on the dock. We ain't got bait. We're just like,
Listen.
remember how like cat? It's just the lure, man.
When you get in Tony's car, you need to look for the fishing rods.
Oh, yeah.
Because they might be poking you in the head.
Let me see here. But anyways, and so we were just stepping into that space.
Yeah.
Got into the trading, and then I'm like, okay, we can do this. We can do the trading. We'll get the money. It's like the project was 20, 30 minutes, like we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony's like, bruh, everybody wants this. Why don't you just get someone to give you the money?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're kind of, this is why I'm like, who's going to give me 30 million? He goes,
30
I know
million.
people who just get.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes,
you know the number.
that's
right?
it.
You just put it out
That's
there.
it.
And so we put it out there, but I was talking to my kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, my kids have grown up with electrically reduced water.
Yeah.
They've grown up with vibration plates.
Yeah.
They wear Q-links. Did I show you this thing at the...
Oh, yeah. You just show me that. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
did
we
that
need-
stuff.
we need some,
They grew up with chiropractic. They've grown up eating right for their blood
Yeah.
type. They know what they do eat. They know what they don't eat.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Alexa, like, how do we create that for everybody? And she said, Dad, you need to go into the high schools and just...
Oh.
It needs to be a class because I'll talk to my kids,
Oh, man.
and they don't even know
100.
what their blood type is.
100.
Like they don't. They think, like, okay, let's just say that you're a B blood type bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing you can eat is chicken.
Chicken's the worst.
Worst thing you can pop. Why? Because it activates lectins, drives your immune system down, compromises your white blood. Like, that's just what it does.
You know what's so crazy about that? I bet if you ask most of these people, most of the students in high school right now, how many blood types there are, they would have no idea.
Yeah. When I meet people for the first time, especially when I'm dealing with them, training coaches, I ask them what their blood type is. 75% of people have no idea.
They have no idea. Yeah. Chase, you know what your blood type is? Hey, see, man?
I'm AB negative, which is...
Oh, shit. Look at this.
This was the part.
This is the party?
Yeah.
Boy, look at my boy with the
Yes, sir. You see
fedora and all that.
I got on my feet. I got on the...
Oh, you got the finger toes on it, bro.
That was 5 years ago.
That's amazing. Look at my boy here with the finger toes. You gotta send him this picture too. Tony used to wear those things when they first came out. Remember?
I actually just started wearing them again.
Well, I was like, dude, those feel good?
Well, my hips was jacked up. That's how I discovered them.
Uh-huh.
And so once I got my hips straight and I started wearing those, I could literally feel if my hips went out.
Wow.
Feel the contact of the ground.
Right, because it's like
And
being
now that I'm actually
barefoot.
training again.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing them again. I did legs.
That was the view out of my house.
Man.
Lakeland here.
Yeah.
We had to suffer through COVID.
That's a proper.
We skied 1,000 hours a year during COVID.
Did you really? This is beautiful, man.
So yeah,
That's beautiful.
But, as I was talking to Lexi, I'm like, we need school system, we need education, we need to
Yeah.
because right now, even with the EMF piece,
Yeah.
it's not going away.
No.
Yeah.
So how do you live with it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's fine. It's gonna kill you. Like, well, okay. What do I do to live with it?
Mm-hmm.
My kids wear Q-links. Why? They'll know. They know. You know, how do you I need to go get on the vibroplate. Why do you need to get on the vibroplate?
Shake up your lymphatic.
Get my lymphatics going, loosen up my joints, and
So does that fade and go away? You had to replace it? So
this one's.
Do you ever take that off?
I do. When I lived at the lake, I didn't need it nearly as much. Where I live now, I need it pretty consistently. When I'm out in Sedona, I don't need it.
Do you want to explain what that is so people know?
It's a bioelectric of resonant chip, and what happens is it amplifies your body's own biofield signal.
That's
Did I do
amazing.
the arm test on you at the restaurant?
Yeah. That was crazy, man. I was like, what?
see,
And
so
All right, wizard.
but so what happens? You got hemoglobin.
Yeah.
When we were kids, you grab the rabbit ears, you got a better signal. Why? Because your body's got iron in it. It's got salts. It's a receptor.
That's so funny.
We had 13 channels. One didn't work, and two was a test of the emergency broadcast. And we had 2 radio stations.
Right.
We probably have $500,000 cell phones within. It's a 7-mile radius.
Yeah.
Now the thing that makes the iPhone horrible, it works as a hub so that you can always get a signal.
Yeah.
So if I'm at 6.5 miles, and Tony's 4 miles from a repeater, it will process through his phone to give me a connection, which is great for connectivity.
Terrible.
But I am now processing every single phone call he's got.
Wow.
So you need to have something set up that says, hey, look, we don't need to, 5G's here to stay. You're not going to get rid of it.
Yeah. Are they trying to get rid of it?
No, they're going to G6, 6G,
6G,
7G,
7G. Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
It's like, so it's not about getting rid of it. It's about, okay, how do we maintain, not safe levels, but how do we insulate ourselves from our environment? You can't drink the water out of a tap. I mean, you can.
You should.
It's not good.
Yeah.
You can't drink water out of a well. Most people don't realize the amount of outgassing you get from fracking. It's like, wow, we just need to go clean energy. Like, clean energy has absolutely...
Off grid.
Clean energy has absolutely nothing to do with it. If we all drove electric cars, most of this room would be empty and we'd be naked.
Wow.
Because it's the petroleum companies, it's the plastics that most of it's used for, not fuel.
Right.
Man.
And so it becomes okay, that's all well and good. Now how do we do it? Well, we're going to start by healing the healers. And that was the Sedona school was like, hey, we can bring all this stuff into one place.
Yeah.
We can bring the healers in because the healers are ragged out.
Mm-hmm.
Care for the caregivers, heal the healers. And then instead of it being like, ooh, it's a vibration plate. I need to go to the doctor's office in my injury. No. You don't call your landlord when you need a light bulb changed. Change the light bulb. Like, take some personal responsibility here. Yeah. But it needs to be affordable where people can just use it and do it. And so we're creating those clinics. We've leveled up from what you're doing. We now have a model that will, for every 400 people that join our clinic, it's $1 million in revenue on a $200 a month membership.
Beautiful.
Come in once a week.
Love it.
And the model now is running about 2,500 to 3,000 people per clinic per month, which puts it at $5 or $6 million.
What you guys are doing is even better because in my book it's even better. I mean, I love my business. Don't get me wrong. I love working with doctors and helping people get healed and stuff like that. But I still believe the natural way is always the best, right?
Well, it makes the other stuff work better.
Right, exactly. That's what we talk about all the time, right? So,
but natural is no longer natural.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, the natural today, yeah.
Saying, and I'm not saying we're getting rid of it. I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about, are you going to go back to just using bamboo and candles?
Yeah.
No.
You have to fight
we have
fire
electricity.
with fire.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
It's not a fight.
Well,
it doesn't have to be a fight.
Equivalent.
It's like, how do we protect ourselves from EMF?
Yeah.
Solar radiation. Everyone's like, oh, well, it's the outgassing and it's the cow. Dude, do you realize how many millions of acres of forest in Alaska burn every year?
They never talk about.
In Africa? Yeah. Hundreds of millions of acres burn.
Yeah.
On fire.
Yeah.
Not like, ooh, I got a little gas coming out of my car. No, you got hundreds of millions of acres of forestry burning every year.
Yeah.
That's good. It's not a global warming issue. It's not humankind caused.
Yeah.
Our pollution, that's 100% on us.
Yeah.
Detriment to the environment, that's 100% on us. Mm-hmm. Am I not saying that we need clean energy? I'm saying we do, but at the same point, electromagnetics isn't clean. It's very bad for the human body.
Mm-hmm.
So now we live in an electric society. That's our new natural.
Mm-hmm.
We have to adapt into a way that allows us to compensate for the tools that we've created.
Mm-hmm.
How do you create homeostasis in the body when the cells are like this from every TV station, radio, cell phone that's going on?
Right.
Well, you need a tool that allows you to do that. Mm. You need to know what makes you stronger and what makes you weaker.
Yeah.
Yep. A safe space isn't a place where you're protected. A safe space is being able to protect yourself. Somebody once said, is it because the bird trusts the branch or the bird trusts its wings?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We have a generation that doesn't know how to protect themselves because fighting is evil. No, fighting is discipline. Mm-hmm. It's a martial system of, when you get into serious, you trained. Mm-hmm. And the fighting was fun. Let's say,
I loved it. That's why I did it.
But
it was fun.
But at the same point, that isn't why you did it. You did it to push yourself, and then you wanted to test yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wasn't just to hit something.
Oh no!
And you can tell the good ones from the bad ones because of their ability to focus in and get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, I never went in.
Stay professional when somebody punches you in the face.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I remember, dude, when I tell you, I remember the first time I did get punched in the face, vividly. I remember because I was like, oh, this is real. What the fuck? Right. This dude just punched me in the face.
That hurt.
Legit, man.
Mommy, make the bad man stop.
It was literally the first fight. When somebody's actually trying to hurt you. Not sparring and shit like that. Sparring is, everybody's light, just kind of showing you stuff. But when I fought that dude in Thailand, he literally hauled off and punched me right in the fucking face. And
those guys,
oh yeah,
getting kicked by those guys.
Oh, it's
their shins, the bones.
They have no nerve. They have no. So what they do is they kill all the nerve. Yeah,
they kick concrete.
They
walls.
kick bamboo trees 1,000 million times to kill the nerves in their shin. That's why they can kick baseball bats and shit like that. They don't feel nothing.
Not only that, but their bone density, if you hit them with a bat, their bone density is so intense it'll snap the bat.
Because they've calcified so many times over and over. Like one of the first things I had to do when I started doing Muay Thai was kill the nerves. So I can kick this table right now, I wouldn't feel anything. You know what I mean? It's like that, yeah. Or you can check a kick.
I trained in a Japanese dojo as a samurai for years.
Yeah.
So tempering. Today is tempering.
You're like, shit.
They're going to cane you.
You know what tempering is?
They're going to beat you with canes for 2 hours.
Yeah. They just beat you with fucking canes.
Why? Don't move or we hit you again.
That's right.
And then everybody lines up.
Yep.
You get in a line.
Yep.
Whack, 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 whack.
They hit your
when
arms,
it's your turn,
legs.
You hit everybody on the way up. You get in the front, and then your cane. It's just tempering.
Yeah.
Because it's not what you can. It's not how hard you can hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's how hard you can get hit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a focus and a discipline piece. You're not like, I'm going to beat this guy.
No.
You're like, I'm not thinking at all.
No.
And your brain gets really clear.
Yeah, and so that's like from, you know what I mean, like when I got in and I don't know for what fucking reason, I don't know, man. I was just like in the abundance of like of energy, being in an arena, being in Thailand, fighting this dude, like, you know, all of a sudden became real. Like, you know, it wasn't real in the locker room warming up. It wasn't real walking up. That was like movie. That was like a movie to me because I was young, you know.
Bloodsport.
So yeah, so I've seen all these movies. So I was like, oh, this is just like the movie. Then I go and I get in the real, you know,
and you and you're like, oh.
Well, first of all, the dude's doing the traditional Thai dance. They do this thing where they, you know, it's showing respect to the gods, right? The warrior gods. And he's doing that shit, and I'm like, all right, cool. This is cool. This is yeah. And they do the thing. They take the thing off, and then we come to the middle. I don't know what the ref is saying because he's saying it in Thai. You know, he's just pointing, like, you know, no low hit, no low blows, no headbutts, but when I tell you there was no rules, there's no rules. Like he was saying there was rules, but there was no fucking rules, right? Especially if you're not Thai. You like
they just want to hurt you to get you out of there.
Yeah, they want to make an example out of you.
Travel far for this.
Yeah, they want to make an example out of you, right? So I go and we touch gloves, and so I go to my corner. I'm like, all right, let's do this, man. I've been training hard. I'm ready to do this. I don't have nervousness, but I had fear, right? So people think fear is bad. I'm like, fear is not bad at all. Fear is like you want fear because fear makes you alert as fuck, right? Yeah. So I was super focused, but I wasn't nervous. I didn't have any butterflies in my stomach. I kind of felt at home, you know what I mean? So I come out and we touch gloves, and he literally punched me right after we touched gloves.
Wow. Bam!
So you're not supposed to do that. When you touch gloves, you're supposed to sit back, all right, cool, let's fight. Yeah. Like we touched gloves, and with the other hand, he hit me in the face.
Yeah.
Wow.
This motherfucker, man, I was like, all right, cool, man. And then, you know, like I said, the first round was a lot of me throwing, you know, us throwing each other around and shit like that. And I remember when I went back to my corner, Father was like, do you want me to throw the towel in? What are we doing here? Are you here to fucking fight? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, why are you going backwards?
Because the guy's beating the shit
Like,
out of me.
no, but we trained go forward, right? Pressure, right? Especially with Thai guys, you gotta pressure them because if you stand at distance with them, they're strikers. Yeah. They're gonna kill your legs. They're gonna kill your, and then they're gonna set up some kind of crazy elbow or some shit. Maybe
a knee.
Get
the momentum, but backing up, there's no forward momentum.
Yeah.
Right.
So and it fucks them up when you go forward. So if you ever watch like a real good fight. The guy that's going forward is always the guy that's winning, right? So I go, okay, man, you know, you're right. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just got punched in the face for the first time ever. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to take it all.
Meanwhile, this guy's been like, okay, it's time to go to class, and everybody lines up and punches him in the face.
Wow.
Like legit.
No, seriously.
Since
like,
they're 5, Tony. Since they're 5 years old. There's a really great Netflix documentary.
On the monks.
No, it's got the other one, Fight World.
Okay.
Where the guy goes to all these different places in the world and talks to the people that are masters in the different martial arts, right? So he goes to Thailand, and the kids are literally like 5 years old, man. And full contact, black eyes, closed, their eyes are shut.
5 years old?
Both. And listen,
Wow.
when I tell you,
If my 5-year-old came home like that, I'd be like, what the?
like who? Get in the car. Get your hands in the car. Show me who did it.
Right.
But since they were 5 years old, man, and
I get my ass whooped by the tire instructor.
and yeah,
And
then,
they're this big.
yeah, they're like yeah. And you know when they start like in Thailand, I learned all this laughter, right? So in Thailand, you know, every male, like every son, will try to become a fighter.
Yeah.
Some of them will, some of them won't, because that's how they feed their family.
Don't they go ladyboy?
It's the.
But probably.
You got to realize
Maybe.
that in like if you deal with a samurai,
Yeah.
the whole class system was based on the samurai through the feudal years because that meant that you were protected, that you were disciplined, that you were focused, that you could get stuff done.
Yep.
Anybody that wasn't formally trained was considered weak because
Yeah.
you can't even train yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's where, like, when you look at the Last Samurai, and like the merchants came
Oh,
in and
yeah,
want to make money.
yeah.
They're just weak people that are
Yeah.
after money. They have no self-discipline.
Right.
Like, if you just look at somebody that's all about money, you're like, eh. But, like, if they've got a discipline, if they've got a sport, if they're like that, you have a different level of respect.
Yeah.
And it's an ability to protect. It's that whole concept of, and because it was feudal years, there was a lot of worrying. It is way better to be a warrior and a gardener.
Yeah.
In a garden
Then a gardener and horror. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
And, you know, most warriors are not like, yeah, some people get off on it, but most of them are like, you know what? It was fun, but a life of peace is really
It's really nice.
Nice.
It's nice, man.
And, you know, but it's like you have to be able to protect that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where you've seen bringing Bobby Kennedy back.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what? This is kind of a last stand.
It really is.
You know, if they didn't win, oh,
Bro, come on.
it would have been. We would have been talking about going. What country we going? You guys
What
want to
in the
move
world
to?
will be going on already right now?
Legit, man. It was so bad.
My goodness.
You know, Jordan Peterson said something that's really awesome, and he got fucking flack for it. And then a lot of people stood up for it too. He said, you know, you should be a monster,
Yeah.
but then learn how to
Control.
it.
You should be able to be a monster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
The ability to
Like there's,
correct-
it's weak to not be able to
Yep. Strength is
to
be
do
able
that, to
correct.
turn that on when you need to turn it on, right? There's most of the people out here, you know, they're in their cars, they're protected by the walls and shit, and oh fuck you and this and that. You pull in front of them,
We did it in
Or
real
these
life.
dudes.
you pull, or them, but you pull over, right? You could, like, I've done this, and this is I'm not saying you should do this ever. You should not do this.
Maybe once.
But I got this other side of me that if someone pushes enough, will come out. And I've literally, in the middle of traffic, pulled my car sideways in front of someone's car, gotten out, went to their windows, get the fuck out of the car. You're flicking me off for 10 minutes. It's enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? And guess what happens?
No.
I've done this, I don't know how many times, but
Once or twice.
yeah, but however many times I've done it, no one's gotten out of the car. Not one person.
I actually had a dude get out of the car on me one day. I'm still trying to figure out what he was pissed off about. His kids was in the back seat jumping up and down. So no car seats, no seatbelts, no nothing.
What?
It's the speed limits, you know, goes from 45 to 35 because you're going through a school. So I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I wasn't even like up on his bumper.
Yeah.
He stops the light, jumps out of the car, and starts walking up to my car like he wanted something.
Yeah.
I hung the 22 and a half out the
Yeah,
car.
can I help
He
you?
was just like, jump back in the car. I'm like, I said, yeah. That's
Nice
what
to
I
meet
thought.
you. Nice to meet
You
you.
know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? I didn't even.
But you
I'm
know-
not even tripping.
No.
So
and
I'm in Cartersville on 411, headed home, and this guy comes out, and he's driving really slow,
yeah.
and I just go past him like
Right.
didn't think about
He
it.
pulls out in front of you instead of waiting.
Then he speeds up.
No, he was there, and it was like a 55 mile
Yeah.
an hour,
Yeah.
and he's going like 25, 30 miles
Yeah.
an hour. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All of a sudden, this guy's got his beams on me. He's riding my butt,
What?
and I'm like, okay. He goes around me and lays on the brakes.
Oh, brake checks you. Yeah.
No. Stops.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Jumps out of the car and has a tire iron.
For passing him?
What the
I
fuck?
was like, he was drunk. Who knows?
Yeah, you don't never know.
But it was Cartersville. So Cartersville's not an easy town to break.
No.
As a chiropractor, it was a challenge until they found out that I was a high-end gunsmith, and they were like, "What? You have a gun shop there?" Blew me up.
We love you.
So I am on my way
Yeah.
home from my office with a custom 45 that I just finished.
Right. You know what? You right on time.
Yeah. I've really been trying to use
and
this.
I didn't even like wave it around. He's like, "My," and he comes at me. And I'm like, "Okay."
I was just about to say.
I just shot in the curb across the street. And I'm just like, later.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I was thinking,
Exactly.
later's good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, much later. Much later.
Yeah.
That's hey, you know what though? You know what?
There's no question, it's loaded.
I bet that guy won't do that shit again.
Man.
He like just in case. Listen, just in case, right?
Because you passed him.
Yeah, that's stupid anyway. That's like you don't do that shit.
crazy work.
But you know what it is, and you can attest to this, Ben. When you know how to hurt someone, and when you know how to fight, when you know how to do,
Should. That
But-
doesn't mean you have to do
no, you should. But I'm saying when you know, you will avoid it.
Yeah.
100%.
You don't ever like start shit, right? When was the last time you started a fight? Never.
Never wear 30 seconds.
Never. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, but people fuck like, and
How many
it's so
have you ended?
weird too, man. People like to fuck
How
with
many
people
have you
that are,
ended?
yeah, a lot.
It's so crazy.
A lot.
It's like, if I go there, you better have Kelly somewhere.
Yeah.
Kelly better be somewhere.
Oh
around.
yeah. Well, it's funny. If there's anything ever going, I'm like, baby, this is the bail money. Okay, so I'm already ready to go to jail.
Yeah.
Like, cause I know I'm not going to. It's not gonna be like where it's gonna stop. It's gonna go all the way to jail.
Somebody going to jail.
Yeah.
Somebody going to hell.
Yeah. I mean, like that's what. So my wife and my wife so well. Like we're so in sync. She knows if we're out and I'm about to get into it, she just stays out of it. She goes, you know what I mean? She knows the routine. Because the last thing you want is your girl to. You seen these dudes where the girl gets in between and she gets knocked the fuck out?
Yeah. Now your focus is completely different.
Now you lose focus, right? So, dude, I remember.
Speaking of which, another one really important, and this, we may just jump into couples therapy here, but one of the things that I've noticed, Kelly, alpha dominant females, they want to feel protected, but there's a fine line between not letting them feel belittled because you're protecting them.
Right, overdoing it, yeah.
And so one of the things I'll say to Abby, if something's going on, I'm like, you got this or you want me to step in?
Yeah.
She'll let you know.
And she'll be like,
That's what Kelly be doing.
Maybe.
yeah, exactly. It's like,
I got this.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but a lot of men can't get their ego out of the way.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
To let
it's worse.
them-
It's worse if she got it.
I'm more
like,
like,
you're definitely going to jail. I got
I'm
you
like,
out, baby.
Tony, I got popcorn.
I'll get you out. Yeah, I'll get you out.
Because you know if you get the advantage at any moment, I'm coming.
Well,
Have you ever
probably
seen-
won't.
Where's your girl from? Is she from here?
she's from Canada, man.
Oh, she's from Canada?
Yeah, she's actually been chased by a grizzly on her bike. She's shot moose. Yeah,
Like legit.
she will hurt you.
She's a gangster. So my girl is from Jersey. She's got that strong New Jersey. So, you know what I mean? Like,
She will knife you.
oh, dude, she
Check it. I haven't
100%.
checked
So
my blade.
anytime we get into argument, we're not in the kitchen. I'll just say that. Let's go talking in the living room,
I'm out
man.
here on the deck.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go in the bedroom where there's nothing sharp. Like, you know what I mean? And so, but could you
Put the
imagine?
cuffs on you real quick.
Could you imagine not being with a strong woman though?
Oh, I couldn't be.
There's no way, right? There's no way.
Whatsoever.
It's not meant for.
It's more
Well,
of
it's an alpha thing. Alphas don't pick weak people.
select.
Yeah,
They just don't.
yeah,
Because there's nothing wrong with not being an alpha.
yep.
But with that mismatch,
Yeah.
they realize there's something better.
Yeah.
And it creates a natural tension.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that, man.
I tell you, it's that energy, bro.
Yeah, it's the energy,
Ever
man.
Since that first day, I'm just like,
That's it.
my chick
That's
right
it.
there.
I'm done.
Yeah.
You're like, I married her.
It wasn't like that. Like I'm done. Like you're the one. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like this is different.
Yeah.
Anybody else I bring, she's gonna beat the hell out of. So
Won't survive.
The
Won't
crazy
survive.
part about that is that's exactly. She didn't beat the hell out of him, but they was like, you know what?
They
This
gonna ask
bitch ain't
for it.
backing down. I'm out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
right.
Like, it's been
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Sure.
It's just, I mean, but that's the only way. I mean, I can't imagine not being with a strong woman, man. I just can't. It wouldn't make, like, it would be drive me crazy, I think. You know what I mean?
Afraid I'd break them.
Yeah, but you know, it's also, she understands, like, if I get rowdy about something, she gets it. Like, you don't have to explain it.
Did you ever watch Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rip, and there's Beth. She's going, I got this. Don't do that.
That's right. Man, dude, you gotta come back and do this on a regular, because there's so much more that, you know.
I told you we need to have financial segment, medical segment, fitness segment. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring in the people that are doing it at a level that, like you just
Like
said, man, I ain't never heard of this.
Yeah, I never heard of this.
So,
I mean, I truly learned a lot from this podcast. I mean, like, literally,
Sweet.
legit.
I'm just glad to be here, man. I always have fun.
Yeah, well, we love you, man. I appreciate you coming on. And we actually, so this is something we do for. This is something we do for people we like. So if you didn't get one of these, I like the bag. Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, he probably
I
like
need
the
to admit
bag.
how many backpacks I got. 0 fucks given. _ they should be earned.
Yeah. So on my
The
truck it has that.
One of my other ones was the NFG lifestyle.
Oh, okay.
No fucks given.
Yeah,
I like NFG.
that's good. That's good.
Man,
So.
he's always wearing those too.
So check this out, brother. So this is don't open it yet. Let me tell you what it is. So a really close friend of mine, his grandfather makes these.
Nice.
These come from Persia, and they bless them and they put it in the sand, and they rub it in the sand, and then they pray over it, and then they clean it, cleanse it, pray over it again. They make it, and then they pray over it again to whoever is going to be receiving it. Okay, so
bless it.
it's a yeah. There you go. Come on. You gonna give me a blessing?
Father, take this energy, bless these bracelets, bless this company, this experience, forgive us for our sins. Amen.
Amen. All right.
Oh, we vibing.
We're vibing big time, baby. Big time.
Nice. Ooh, what's that?
Oh, dude. You know what that means? You know what that? Oh, listen. Let me tell you what that means. Wow, that's crazy.
That's wild.
That's crazy. So let me tell you what that means. Let me tell you what that means.
Just gonna put my fan.
No.
Really strong.
No, listen. So I was gonna explain this to you after you got it, but basically what that just happened.
No longer welcome.
No. It's even better. It's even better. So what happened right there? I can't believe we got that on tape. That's fucking amazing. So look. So what that means, brother. Okay.
It did his job.
Yeah, this is so. I was just about to explain what it was, right? And so these are not just, you know.
No, that's
Brace-
all-seeing eye.
Yeah, so it's that, and it's also protection, right? So the reason you wear these is for it to do what it just did. So what that meant was, you've got things going on in your life where there's people that are putting negative energy and forces over you.
Yeah.
Okay? So when that happens, what that does is that these eyes saw it, took it in, and then got rid of it.
Blew it apart.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Because he didn't even do anything.
He didn't even do it. That's what I'm saying. He didn't even do anything.
So what are these?
Yeah. So listen, there's a reason we always do two, is because
why
just
these
in
eyes are
case
blue?
that happens.
One blue here, one blue there.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So that's the same thing. I mean, you still have the evil eye on there.
So
And these are, yeah.
get this repaired and bring it.
No, I'll just get him. I'm going to get him a note. You don't want to repair this. What you want to do is
Why don't you put it in a bag?
No. You want to throw this one away because you don't want to carry that shit. It just took it all out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we throw this away, and then I'll just get him to build you another one, a new one.
What was that, on your neck?
That's beautiful, man.
So, have you ever seen Kryptonite?
Yeah.
Superman?
Oh, is that what that is?
Real Kryptonite?
Is that actual kryptonite?
That is actual real Kryptonite.
What the? Where the fuck do you buy? You buy that on
Kryptonite.
Amazon?
This glass stones? No.
I'm just kidding.
This is palisite and this is moldavite.
Okay.
So you know how I did the weakness test?
Yeah.
You're gonna like.
Okay. Let's do
Go ahead
it.
and stand up.
Let's do
You're gonna back.
get the-
You're
let's
gonna want
get the hammer.
to. You're gonna want to see this.
Okay. All right.
So we'll do this arm just so
Okay.
it focuses better. Push up. Just hold that up there.
Wow.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
So when I discovered palisade,
Wow.
palisade is the stuff that was
That's
used.
crazy.
It's what they used for kryptonite in Superman comics.
Yeah.
The first thing I got, I'm like, I got kryptonite. And I had a 5-gallon jug of water, and I was like, you gotta put that on the dispenser. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's awesome, bro.
And I'm like, this is great. Babe, I got you know me, right? And I'm like, I set it down.
What's going on?
It was crazy.
Wow, man, that's crazy. What is this? What is on this side?
So one of our water units that we did for whole house, we
Yeah.
also did for swimming pools.
Oh, okay.
And that is all 115 elements that are non-radioactive under 75,000 psi.
What?
So when you get clumping
Oh,
and
look at
stuff,
all that. I want to go. Can you make that
So-
into a suit?
oh, you can put it on. You're welcome to try
Let
it.
me see how this feels.
And you'll actually feel like a.
I do feel different, bro. It's weird.
No, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. No, it does feel different.
Well, you know,
I ain't boy. Listen, and I'm not. It's not the Reese's Pieces tequila either.
Oh no.
No,
So
it's
here's
not.
the
not
thing, you
even
know,
close.
a lot of people talk about gemstones and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's all weird ass new age stuff. Do you realize that in Exodus when they talk, and even in the Quran when they talk about the breastplates of right, those are half the stones.
Bro, that's
Remember I told you we need to get our stones?
yeah. So we
mean,
didn't talk to you then about the stone. Tony, you gotta try this, man. It's crazy. That shit works.
My head too big? Yep. Barely.
Tell me you don't feel something.
Well, I don't want to take it off.
No, that's why it was hard for me to give it to you, man. I was gonna be stingy.
Well, he knows where to get more. So,
So we need to get some.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
we need to get some for sure.
Any which way, so yeah, lots of fun stuff and
Beautiful, man. Dude, that's so crazy that just happened.
Yeah,
Because I was literally gonna explain, you know, hey, look.
well, cool.
So the same thing happened to Kelly, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So she wasn't doing nothing.
It just literally, she wasn't doing anything. He was actually putting it on.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing anything. It just exploded.
But you were putting that on the same way you put that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm saying. I'm just
That's
saying.
what I'm
She
saying.
was just standing there and
Yeah.
it exploded.
That's even crazier.
Yeah.
She was just standing there and the shit just, and I
yeah,
tell
but
people.
didn't she have watches, drain batteries, and all that stuff on her too?
Well, I just, it was funny because I tried to like say, was something negative going on? So I think something actually was happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I told her after the fact.
Yeah. Oh, you told her what you explained to her what it is? Yeah,
That's something
man.
you don't want anymore.
No, bro.
Tony's good. Tony,
I'm already-
he's flying.
I'm mellow.
Yeah, he's good.
You need that lunch.
But man,
it was a way bit of a mellow service.
Yes.
so you got to come back, man. Maybe are you available next week?
We got
Come
it.
anytime you want.
Yeah.
Week after?
Well, no, next week too because we got Dallas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he should meet Dallas, man.
Oh wow.
100, right?
Oh wow.
I mean, like, why the crate? You know,
Wow.
Do I have to shave my head though?
no.
No, you look amazing. You look amazing. So it's remember last week when Nick was sitting there and we both was tripping.
Oh yeah, on his hair, yeah.
Nick's hair was so laid. I was just like, I wanted
Nick,
to
hey
say
man,
something
shout
so
out to
bad.
your hair,
I'm
bro.
Like, damn, that shit is laid.
And we were both thinking it, and we both didn't say shit.
Because he wouldn't let us come.
I know he was all in. I was like, all right.
All right, so this is just another health and wellness piece. And
I like it.
Before we're done,
I like it.
Close this. Where's favorites?
Cheers, man. Cheers. You can get the
100%.
you can get the just the.
Whatever we got, we're the beads.
That's right, baby. You prayed over it too. We don't do that.
I'm good.
This is the first time we've done that. You prayed over it. Wow, man. And we documenting that shit,
It's on the radar, man.
right?
So this was May 19.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wait, that's your hair?
He had a situation going on. Is it coming back?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Wow.
What are you doing?
All kind of crazy. Cool
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay. Good. We need that protocol. You know what I mean?
So we need to do a vlog where we go.
Look, that was.
That was less than a year ago.
Wow.
That's a huge difference,
We
bro.
need.
I
To,
thought
we,
so
need
too.
To, we need to do a vlog
Legit. Yeah.
where we can go to his house or wherever, so he can
Yeah.
adjust you, so you can see.
Let's
so
go.
people can
Oh
see.
yeah. I really want to
Hey,
do
the
that.
camera working? Cool.
All right. What you got?
So, as a martial artist,
Right.
that's got some weakness to it. You can't hold it. Watch this. Squeeze your thumb and your pinky.
Okay.
No, like put some effort into it.
Oh.
Do the other hand so they can see.
That's where most of your grip comes from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Relax.
Oh. What?
Squeeze.
What?
This is no
Bro.
bullshit, man.
Bro.
No bullshit at all, man.
No.
You ready to knock somebody
Squeeze.
the fuck out now?
Oh man, look at that, bro.
Grab.
Wow, man. All right. We're just gonna go to his house right now. I need you to do that, but like everywhere.
Tell me why you think I'm
Dude, I didn't. I mean, you know, if you say it, I don't have to even know anything else.
So I'm like a month, 3-4 weeks in my training. I'm like, I need to go see the doc. Because he was adjusting me before I started training, back to training.
Right.
And then once I started training, I was just like, ooh, I need to go see the doc.
Yeah.
He just fixed all the little kinks.
That's insane. I've been to chiropractors so many. My cousin's a chiropractor. I've never had anybody adjust my wrist.
The elbows and the
Yeah.
bruh.
It makes so much
Just
sense,
don't
though.
scare me with having to fix a fascia in your biceps.
Oh,
Oh no,
I'm sure I got a bunch.
You saw me with the tape.
Oh
on.
yeah.
So he was like, he's like, you got the T-Rex arm. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm thinking my arm is straight.
He's like this.
Yeah, he was like, you need to straighten
Make
your
your
arm
arm
out.
straight.
So we went to stretch me in the fascia and
Bro,
the scar tissue.
tore.
Well, it just expanded.
Yeah.
Almost tore.
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Well, no,
It
because
did- there was a
basically
little
what it
blood.
is it binds and it doesn't go until
Yeah.
it slides because it should
okay.
slide.
Yeah.
It
It
was-
wasn't
So it just
sliding.
releases.
It was-
Yeah.
it went
Okay.
into-
Yeah, we both jumped. And he was like, oh my God, did I tear it? I was like, nope.
I feel good.
But it moves, and his arm went
You-
right
Hold
straight
up.
to
And then
straight.
the next day, my arm was 20 inches, 19 and a half.
Wow, dude!
it was
I tell you
just
something
fine.
crazy. No joke. That same injury he had, I have. Right? We got it on the same day,
Yep.
and we didn't tell each other. And then he told me about the thing, and I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy, man.
Oh, I got something for you. This will be fun.
Yeah, come on.
No, where's the desktop?
Oh, boy. So amazing.
Well, I'm having fun. I hope you guys are.
This is man. This is
It's about time to go to the bathroom now.
and lunch, right?
Behold. the
Oh,
power-
good. Are you gonna be able to come to lunch with us
When?
right now?
Yeah.
Cool. Because I'm gonna give you the menu and be like, what can I eat off this? I'm not gonna order shit.
So,
I'll be like, do you guys have lightning water? Because if it's not, I don't want it.
Let's wrap this up because I definitely got to get
Okay, all right. So, hey, shout out to our sponsors, Eat Clean Bro, and
Fit IQ, FIQ,
FIQ supplements, dude.
OptiSurge.com.
Another real cool dude, man. I love that guy too. Shout out to Chase. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to the Doc.
Yes, sir.
For all of it. He'll be back 1,000 million times. You might just have to be on every podcast with us.
Yep.
Tony's about to piss himself, so we're gonna go ahead and clock out. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Subscribe, love, like, hate, talk shit. It doesn't matter. We love it all.